Hey, what's up, everybody? Today is September 10th, 2019, and it's 12:39 a.m. at the time of this recorded. This is the Wrestling Rundown, episode number 169. I am Owen the Birdman Finch, and I know this is an interesting way of kicking off the rundown with just me, but in this part of the video, I am going to be determining seeding for the Elite Runner-Up Championship tournament we're going to be having throughout the fall. We're going to bring in a new championship just to kind of make the show a little bit more exciting. And I announced it on episode 168, so you can check it out there. It's in the beginning of the episode. And pretty much how I'm going to determine seeding is I have a container list of names right here of basically everyone that's ever been in the Wrestling Rundown. I'm going to read them off in a second. And I'm going to pick two people, or I'm going to pick names, and for example, the first two I pick will face off in the tournament. And since there's 11 people in the tournament, someone isn't going to have an opponent, so whoever I don't pick will get a bye in the tournament. That's pretty much how this is going to work. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. You're going to see this, and then in the next take, you're going to see a bracketology done about the tournament, because I was going to try to spread them out into two separate videos, but everything kind of got complicated. So let me go through the participants that are going to be in this tournament. We have myself, Owen the Birdman Finch, James the He-Man Hebert, Al Vagabundo, best known as Chris Dodd, Smoke Slayer, the Max, Steve Coakley, or Stephen Coakley, Ken Tut, John Tutty, Noah Foster, the Simple Man, the Holiday, Chris Mace, Good Brother, Christopher Willis, Michael Nikos, Lionheart Michael Nikos, I should say, Michael X, and Casey Gallagher. So now that I've kind of done that, let's start seeding for the tournament. This tournament's going to start this Sunday at Clash of Champions. I'm going to pick the names, and whoever I think will serve best to face off at each pay-per-view will, be in the matches. So let's pick the names now. Alright, so we got the first name here. This is very exciting. So the first name is Christopher Willis. Christopher Willis, and now let's pick his opponent. So let me write this down so I don't forget. I probably should have had this typed up, but whatever. I mean, you're going to see a lot of dead air, but whatever. Oh yeah, I should just copy paste. What am I doing? Alright, and Christopher Willis will be facing Chris Dodd. So we got the battle of the Chris's. Alright. So the next match will be Casey Gallagher versus Noah Foster. So I think that will be an exciting matchup. Oh, I dropped a name out of the hat. Can't have that. He almost didn't get... He would have gotten the bye unfairly. I got me. I'm in the... I got picked, so I'm not going to be getting the bye. That shows you right there that I'm not biased. I was kind of hoping I'd get picked so that way people would accuse me of being unbiased. And I'm going to be facing John Tutty. Faced him before. Alright, and then we have the next set people facing off. We have James Hebert versus Christopher Mace. This is actually kind of leading up to be a great seed right here. Okay. So this next two could be deciding who gets the bye and who doesn't. So next we have Michael Nikos, and this is crucial right here, versus Michael X. So that means, so we have a battle of the mics. I swear I did not rig that. So that means Stephen Coakley will get the bye in the tournament because he's the only one that did not get picked. What a coincidence. So that's the tournament. So I'll read through it. Again, we got the first round matches. It's Christopher Willis versus Chris Dodd, Battle of the Chris's. Casey Gallagher versus Noah Foster. Me versus John Tuddy, James Hebert versus Christopher Mace, and Michael Nikos versus Michael X. So the battle of the mics. And Stephen Coakley will get the bye in the tournament. So that should be very excited. I'm very excited to see how the tournament plays out. Good luck to everybody that's in it. And good luck trying to take me down and taking the Elite Runner-Up Championship from me. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. And enjoy the actual episode itself of the show. All right, so now today is September 11th.
Still 9/11.
Yeah, August 9th, and it's 8:19 p.m. Now, we could do a message about that, but just go watch the Professional Wrestling Review Series. Because this video's not going up. This video's not going up until isn't going up on 9/11, so it kind of won't really make any sense if you do it here. So
yeah, this is going up on a different day. You'll see it then.
Yeah, but now I'm here with
James the He-Man Hebert, and I got some toast.
Wait. So you have avocados on toast.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a toast for dinner.
Chicken, cheese, bacon, avocado, and toast.
So it's like a sandwich. So it's kind of like a BLT in a sense.
Yeah, it was supposed to be, but the problem is they did it with chicken tenders, not a chicken patty.
That's weird.
So I had to eat it separately because otherwise it was going to be a fucking mess.
Yeah. All right, but yeah, we're here to do some bracketology for this Elite Runner-Up Championship tournament that we have coming up. So we have to give props. I didn't come up with the name. Noah Foster came up with the name of the championship. So thank you, Noah Foster.
Noah!
So James, if you hate it, talk to Noah because it's his thing.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all.
Well, if anybody hates it, talk to Noah.
It's better than the 24/7 championship.
Yes. So I basically explained what this championship. Basically, what I didn't say though is this is basically going to be the equivalent to our mid-card championship of the show. And like we said, it can be defended on any show. It could even be defended in a main event if you wanted to be defended there. So I feel like someone has to defend it on main event one of these weeks now. But let's announce the matches. Because there's been a change. So Steve Coakley, you already know this, but you don't get a bye anymore because we have a new member of the Wrestling Rundown, the Cleaver, Colin Andrew. So here is the updated brackets of the tournament. So at Clash of Champions this Sunday, it will be the Battle of the Chris's, Christopher Willis versus Chris Dodd.
And I shall now do my bracketology.
Yep. So Chris Dodd was the.
I got
first...
you. Just okay. Allow me. Just allow me. Chris Dodd earned the reputation of being the laziest champion ever, trying to find any and every way to get rid of it because he did not want to carry the belt around anymore during school time. Yeah, this is a legit thing. You can go back and watch the old episode. He was trying every way to get rid of that belt and somehow retain it for like 3 straight pay-per-views.
Yeah,
that's a legit deal.
So maybe that's what he has to do. Maybe he's gotta try to lose on purpose and end up winning the whole tournament. So,
yes.
And then what about Christopher Willis? I don't think you have anything on.
Chris Willis is a man that is a part of Indie DQ and NX Team. Very part-time with NX Team, but he is a very regular member of Indie DQ and has done many predictions and is actually a co-champion for Indie DQ with yours truly. I believe that was my first title. I don't know if that was Chris's because I didn't do my full research because I'm just kind of going off the cuff. But I know he is a former Indie DQ champion along with yours truly.
There you go. And yeah, they'll be facing off at Clash Champions.
And it's gonna be very different. It's gonna be very difficult to know who's gonna win this Owen because one man has a poker face and the other one you can't take fucking seriously because every time you stare at him, he'll just laugh.
Yep, pretty much.
So I mean, you got the happy Chris and you got the I'm gonna beat you Chris.
Yeah.
Stern face Chris versus, haha, that's funny Chris.
Well, the funny thing is, we won't even see his face because he never shows his face on the show anymore, really.
Not true. He showed his face on the Indie Force Wrestling Rundown collab.
Oh, he did. He
did.
So then we have the next matchup. It's Casey Gallagher versus Noah Foster, and that match will be taking place on NXT September 18th, 2019.
Which is the debut episode for USA Network.
Yeah.
And also on WWE Network because they're idiots and forgot that fucking Suits had to finish up their goddamn show. So yeah, that's that.
So any information you have on
Casey Mr. Casey Gallagher is a newcomer on the scene. Joined the Wrestling Rundown this year during Fyter Fest and is now a member of the Indie Force motherfucker. And yeah, he's a part of that group now and he has not won a belt yet, but he's a dark horse to watch out for, Mr.
No. He did say he's a champion. He's the champion of guy who never leaves his house.
Oh yeah, that is very, very true. And he was very, 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 very sad about that. I remember. I felt bad for him. I felt for him, Owen. I really did. Felt for that guy. Really did.
Because that's a championship you don't want to win. So
you don't want to win. That's a really sad championship to win.
So let's hope like him winning this.
And specifically, it was sad, lonely geeks who never leave their house. That was the official title.
Yeah. So
you better hope you get the help you need from those therapists. I hope that make you feel good.
So maybe him winning this Elite Runner-Up Championship will actually
don't get him out of the house.
Yeah.
That's what he's looking for. His motivation is he wants to get out of the house.
And then what do you know about Noah Foster?
And Noah Foster, well, he's just a simple man and a lifelong fan of wrestling. A multi-time no DQ champion. I believe he might be the first Triple Crown champion in no DQ. When also all their new predictions. And he's also
the first one to hold 3 championships at once.
Including this very title, the Wrestling Rundown Championship, along with the Indie DQ and NXT Team Championships. This man has a plethora of championships to his resume. For a man that calls himself simple, Owen, he is not a very simple man when it comes to championship gold, Owen.
No way. Then we have the next match. It's me versus Joe.
Hello? Okay, yeah, I'll come down and get the chicken. Okay, bye. We have a new person involved. Well, really animal. And it's dead. Chicken. I gotta go get it.
Okay.
Keep it rolling. Hold on.
Alright, so
don't do what you did last time. Just stay there and look at the camera and shoot the shit with
yeah.
my body.
Well, then we have the next match. It's me versus John Tuddy at AEW October 9th, 2019. But I can't continue the video right now because We need James for the bracketology, and I got no information. I know I don't know any information about myself, but I just gotta wait. This is probably the time where you would choose, to start. Oh, here he is.
The chicken and the salad.
There it is. All right.
I'm sorry.
Typically, we would edit that stuff out, but this video is just already so off the wall anyway. Like, let's not even bother. Like, and I'm already editing this, so it's
how were you silent or did you talk?
I just introduced the match and just kind of just said words just to keep the video going. So
there you go.
All
right,
but it's me versus John Tuddy at AEW October 9th, 2019.
Owen Finch.
The one I'm going to, by the way.
Owen Finch. A man who has won many, many titles, including his own.
Yep.
He was the original Wrestling Fortune 44 champion, which later became the Massasoit Wrestling Corner Championship, which later became the Aftershock Corner Championship, which then later became the Wrestling Rundown Championship, in which he infamously, on a SmackDown main event, lost because he decided to predict on the main event. Yeah. I will never let you live that down, my good friend.
Yep.
You blew your belt on a main event of SmackDown.
Yep. And then there's also some. I've never beaten
as far as John, you've never beaten John, and John has the most reigns out of everybody.
And the longest.
And the longest, he's got the longest reign, the shortest reign, or one of the shortest reigns. He used to have the shortest reign, I think.
Yeah, Noah has the shortest.
He has the most reigns. Effective now as well, because Noah tied him for a little bit, and now he won. And that guy's far surpassed that belt. And then,
I've never beaten John one-on-one. And also, he
has a helmet.
Yeah. Also, there's other thing. The problem is it's an AEW show, and everyone knows my AEW predictions record's not too good. Double or Nothing was good, but then every other show I've gotten really low scores. So John Tuddy, and think about it too. John Tuddy won. What did he win the most recent title at an AEW show? So at a show, and he's never watched an AEW show before. So I gotta watch out for that. So. I'm not looking. I'm definitely the underdog.
Most of those were your predictions, and then he changed like 2 of them and won.
Yeah,
that's the worst part.
Yeah, so I helped John Tuddy win his most recent reign, and he should just not even show up to these predictions because he'll just take mine. So, but anyhow, it is what it is. But I'm coming into this match as the underdog, so hopefully I don't get out in the first round like I did in the WYW tournament, because I got out in the first round. So
I was waiting for when that was going to be brought up.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, hey, you have one credibility to your name if we're going by that canon. You are the longest light heavyweight champion in the Northeast.
That's nothing compared to what John's accomplished, though. So,
well, yeah, in real life.
Yeah.
I'm saying fantasy, it sounds a little better. Go with it.
Yeah. All right. Then we have, so John Tuddy, we already broke down. John Tuddy might be the most dangerous person in this predictions, actually. He might be like there's 2 people that are the most dangerous.
There's 2 people. We'll get to the second.
All right. Then, we have you versus Christopher Mace on the NXT episode that's going to be airing the same day as me and John.
James the He-Man Hebert. What a faggot. What a fucking faggot.
Don't tell yourself you were the first champion ever on
hold on.
wrestling.
I need to really what a faggot.
Don't sell yourself short. You were the first champion on this show.
I was. And guess what? Have I won one since?
Yes. You
Did I?
Yeah, you won.
Yeah. I am actually a 2-time champion.
3.
What was the other one? Because I remember I won one right before.
Let me check. I have the history. I texted the history in the group chat.
Apparently, I'm a 3-time champion. I know about a lot of other people on here, but apparently I don't even remember my own reigns.
Actually, no. You're a 2-time champion.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, 2-time champion. You haven't had... that's the one thing. Even if you win this tournament, you know, you don't you basically have the Sasha Banks title reigns. You lose them right away. So,
I'm just Johnny Gargano.
Yeah. But you do have very good, impressive showing in tournaments if we're going by the WIW, because you made it all the way to the semifinals in the WIW tournament. So,
put myself over in my own show right up until the end. Yeah, that sounds about right when it comes to predictions. Actually, shit. So well, and then I forgot.
Well, you had to do. Well, you had to go against Mike, and I feel like with when it comes to politics, Mike was winning on that one. So, there you go.
I mean, yeah. It's just nobody but a bigger faggot than me. It's Mike. I'm kidding. Because he'll come up with worse.
What about Christopher Mace? You got anything? I got one Christopher Mace. What could help Christopher Mace is typically when he throws out a wild card prediction, he usually always will come out on the victor. So that could help. That could help Chris in the match with you. But since it's a 1-on-1, it won't really work. So.
Well, I mean, there can only be one winner. Can't be a tie.
Anything else you got on Christopher Mace though?
Didn't he win a championship over in no DQ?
I believe he did. He win the NDDQ championship? I believe he did.
I think he did.
I think he was the champion. I think you beat him. This is
the worst bracketology ever. I just realized. We don't even know. Hey, listen. Chris will go with it. He'll stick with it. Yeah, I was a champion there. It was great.
I think you beat Chris to become the NDDQ champion. So
I think you're right. I actually, now that you're jogging my memory. You are correct, sir.
Yeah. So that's maybe Christopher Mace doesn't forget that. Maybe he's going to be coming into this like predictions off, wanting to really dethrone you since you dethroned him. So.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm coming, Elizabeth.
And then we have to remember too, though. You've been on the show, I think, like the second longest out of anybody on the show.
Yeah.
Because you were on the first episode.
I am an OG, as they say.
Yes. But then we have an intense battle. The Battle of the Mikes. Michael Nikos versus Michael X at AEW's debut show on October 2nd, 2000.
The Lionheart. He's the king of ass whooping. He's the champion of ass whooping. And that's the only belt he needs. But he'll happily take another. That's all you need to know about Michael Nikos. Michael X, he's the current, reigning, and defending, undisputed WIW heavyweight champion of the world, Michael X. It's not as good as Braun.
Yeah, this is the second guy though you want to watch out for in this tournament, because why don't you talk about one thing that Michael X did in this?
Michael X came in and shocked the fucking world, getting all but one prediction wrong. One prediction wrong on Fyter Fest.
And he smoked all of
the title. He smoked us.
Yep.
And even though he lost it in the very next AEW show, look, a lot of people can say it, come in there, and keep in mind, everybody, he had not been watching wrestling for years up to this point. And he won. And he picked obscure picks that nobody would have thought. I remember the minute he got the Riho to fall and the girl to take the fall, which was Nyla, that it was game over. We knew, oh shit, Mike's gonna win. And then he got another prediction with, I think, Jimmy Havoc, Or no, Jimmy Havoc taking the fall against Adam Page. He picked Adam Page and Jimmy Havoc to take the fall. The minute he got those two picks, we were fucking toast. We were toast. Honestly, the two people that are the most dangerous in this tournament are John Tutty and Michael X. There's nobody close. Everybody is in. King Tut and Michael X have a clear advantage here.
We do got to ask a question though. Where Michael X though is what could hurt him is did he get too cocky though after that first championship win? Did he get too comfortable? Because that could happen.
Yeah, I think so. But I mean, then again, such is the human nature of Mike. I love you, bro, but you know it's true. Although I'm no better, so I shouldn't talk. But you know.
So then we have Steve Coakley, who doesn't get the bye anymore, versus the Cleaver, Colin Andrew, a new member on the show, just added yesterday.
Stephen Coakley, the king of maybe and the king of not bringing in the fucking replica title.
And there is one thing though that Steve. I know that's all that needs to be said, but there's one more thing that needs to be said. Steve Coakley too has a tendency to not follow the rules when it comes to championship matches because that's hurt him in the past when it comes to title matches.
Oh yes, the infamous I will pick first. And John copied him on everything and retained the belt the minute it was over.
Yeah. And he didn't notice until the show was over. So
Jesus Christ.
I think Steve Coakley's if he wins that
might be the new shocker of the year. Steve is able to dethrone all of us. That might be the new shocker.
Yeah. But Colin Andrew though, he's no slouch. Even though he hasn't showed up on camera yet, and he's just debuting, he's no slouch because he dethroned me of my No DQ NXT Predictions Championship during WrestleMania weekend. So.
Which means he's a former champion. And especially with this Prime Cut show, he doesn't give it a second thought. That's another advantage on him. He just gets short, sweet, and to the point.
Yeah. And, that match will be taking place on SmackDown's debut on Fox, unless they don't announce anything ahead of time. If not, then it would take place at Hell in a Cell. And that will be the final match in the first round, hopefully. And we don't even know who's gonna face who in the tournament, but all I have to say is I guess best of luck to everyone in the tournament. And if you had to say, James, who do you think is gonna? I mean, obviously you can't pick yourself, but if you get out, who do you think is gonna be the one that wins?
Primary John, secondary Mike.
Okay.
You can really You can switch. You can flip flop between the two. It could be either or. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Mike as a secondary, just because John has that experience of predicting these pay-per-views and almost being right every single time.
Yep.
He's got a really huge win-loss record in predictions.
Yeah,
his win record is ridiculous.
We didn't talk about that, actually. Let's talk about John Tutty, too, went for a year straight just plowing through the competition, too. We didn't talk. That's important to talk about.
Yeah, he would. That belt was his. No one for a year could take that belt off him. And I remember we even tried to do shows outside of because back then it was just the Mandatory Wrestling Corner / Aftershock Corner and shit. I remember that's what we were, doing. We were trying to do shows outside of it during the summer to see if he'd lose it. He still won.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck? This guy won't lose his belt.
So that's going to be important because in the Elite Runner-Up Championship, he could go on a tear with this championship. He could.
He already won the Wrestling Rundown Championship already, so he's going in champion.
Yeah. And that's why we have. And John Tutty's the whole reason we got to have this tournament in the first place. So
it was actually John's idea, from what I understand.
Well, no, it was my idea, but just John didn't want to defend the title on WWE shows, so I gotta do that. We need a championship, so this is gonna be our mid-card championship. Maybe we'll put in tag. Maybe we'll put in tag team titles. Maybe.
Oh, Mike and I are going for that.
You want to put in tag team titles too?
Yeah. Only you. The one rule on that: you can only predict in tag team matches.
What, like that happened on the show?
Yes. Tag team matches that are of importance, I should preface. If the Usos and the Revival have their fucking upteenth match in a row where it's about shaving their backs, we're not predicting. But if it's like the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Brothers in the finals, or the Young Bucks versus the Best Friends, or the Lucha Brothers versus LAX in the finals of the AEW title tournament, that will be, I don't know, something of that nature. You never know. This is all speculation. But rumor has it, we may have a tag team title. We don't know yet. I don't know.
We gotta establish this title first, and we have to crown a champ. We have to crown this champion first. So,
I mean, you could just do the WYW method and just crown all your champions in one night, and actually make it all make sense.
All right. You know what? Then I got the stuff here. I'm gonna pick out of here, and whoever two. Well, how many people do we have in the show?
No. Okay. Let's think about this. You cannot pick them out of a hat. It will not work out.
Alright.
We will work on this. I don't think we should just pick them out of a barrel. That would not work. Because then Mike and I might not be a team. And then Chris and other Chris won't be a team. Not Chris Dodd, but Chris Mason, Chris Willis.
Yeah.
So, you know.
I know, maybe me and Chris should be a team since, you know, we've done...
Yeah, you're kind of like the OGs in a way as well.
And
then
John and
Justin Casey, and then John and... Actually, you know what? I might just do John and Casey and then have... I don't know what to do, because it has to be Casey and Nikos, but then that leaves you with John and Steve.
That would be an awesome makeshift tag team, though, because they couldn't.
They're the team hell, though.
I know they couldn't. They wouldn't be able to like come up with a pick. Like,
I don't think that's the right pick, Steve. We should go with it, though. I don't think we should. If you want to win the tag titles, just follow my lead. I want to be a Triple Crown winner. Damn it! I want to make history more.
Yeah. So we'll put it in tag team titles. We're gonna have a tournament. We'll have a tournament for that. We should just do bracketology for that now too.
I don't know. We're not doing bracketology when we haven't even actually made a bracket yet.
Yeah.
These are just teams that we're thinking in our head and blurting out loud. This tournament, we actually had time to like come up with the bracket and shit.
Yeah. So yeah.
Maybe keep an eye out. You never know. We might have a tag team title too. And it will be news to everybody, including me. But it's going to be fun because then maybe the Fallen Angels can also be predictions champs. Let's go, motherfucker. Yeah. Indie Force, let's go.
So you know. Oh, you have Mike on your team too. You might do what? You might not even have to do shit and do well. Like.
Yeah, right. Well, actually, I fucked him over. So, yeah, I'd probably keep my mouth shut.
But the Elite one of our championship's going to though, too, because I said everyone could have that you have to predict.
Repeat that, because your Wi-Fi is doing that Wi-Fi thing. What were you saying? Say it again.
The Elite One-Up Championship.
Yeah. Continue. You're fine.
Oh,
let's go.
The Elite One-Up Championship could be fun.
Yes, so. I agree.
Yeah. So actually, I didn't do my picks. So my primary will be John Tuddy. I'm gonna go bold. I'm gonna do a secondary. In the secondary, I'm gonna call out on a limb. And I'm gonna say Casey Gallagher will find a way to win the championship. He is the wrestling he is the wrestling encyclopedia. So, and he has the advantage because he has more shows he can predict for, like NXT and stuff like that. When Michael X only has the AEW and New Japan shows and such. So,
Mike predicts for NXT. Mike will predict for a regular NXT.
oh, you didn't tell me that because I would have had a title match.
I said just to do the AEW because that would make most sense, probably.
Yeah.
Because that would be the thing he's most looking forward to. Doesn't mean he doesn't not like NXT, but he likes AEW more. Is what I'm saying.
But yeah, we're done. Well, we're done for now. I'll be back later to review all the main roster stuff. But James, you won't be back because you don't like the main roster. So, anything you want to plug or promote?
Fuck the main roster. That's the first thing I gotta plug. You guys can find me on YouTube, youtube.com/user/jhebertside95. Stay tuned for Indie Force Numero Dos, where we review All Out, Royal Quest, and Takeover Cardiff. Whoa. The other two shows, yay! They were great shows. And then, stay tuned for that. That's JHEBERTSIDE95. And that's also my Twitter handle, at JHebertside95. And fuck it, Instagram, why not? If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, it's at JHebert95. No side.
You might have to,
if you want to do
that,
the brain.
You might have to send me that because I don't think it's in the description box.
That's okay. And also, check out Weymouth Youth Wrestling. Weymouth Youth Wrestling is youtube.com/user/WYW Pride. My birthday's on the 29th. It's currently the 11th as we record this. Please get me to 1,000 views on YouTube on all 3 uploads. We're all going to combine all the views together. That will equal 1,000 views, and that will be the first show WYW hits 1,000 views on. So yes, please go and do that. And also give it a like and share with your friends. Do that stuff. And then hit the post notification bell on all my channels. And share on Facebook there. And comment. Apparently comment gets you on the algorithms. Please comment. I like feedback too. It's not even just about the algorithm. Please comment. I want feedback. I like feedback. 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 Meme review. Rundown edition. Anyway, continue.
All right, we're done. Well, you're done anyway.
What about you, stuff?
Well, I'll plug my. This is all going to be one. I'll be back later. I'll plug my stuff at the end.
Oh, okay. There you go. Bye.
See ya. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Wrestling Rundown, episode number 169. I am the host, Owen the Birdman Finch, and I am here with...
Go, Chris.
I'll go. Fine. El Vagabundo. I said it once, and I'll say it again. I'm El Vagabundo, and what it means is what I
am. And then we have making his return to the rundown since I think the SummerSlam portion of it.
Yeah, it's been a while. Hello, everybody. I'm just a simple man. And the current Team NDQ NJPW co-champ and AEW Trios champion for NoDQ.com. And my name is Noah Foster.
Wow, you got a lot of titles behind you.
You had some gold since the last time.
Yep.
Yeah, finally! Freaking got AEW right.
Yeah, there you go. And, you could have the Elite Runner-Up Championship. You could be the first champion.
We'll see. I'm interested in challenging my opponent for NXT, but I know we're not going to that right now. We got a lot to discuss because of what happened this week for the Go Home to Clash of Champions. Let's kick it off, Birdman.
All right. So, Chris, you want to take us through the Raw review? Because we'll review Raw, SmackDown, and 205 from this week, and then do our predictions for Clash Champions.
Hell yeah. Okay. So, Raw happened on September 9th, 2019.
Yes.
And the commentary teams they're going to be the same for another month. Owen, because I know you love to say them. I'm not saying them. The show kicked off with the legendary Stone Cold Steve Austin mediating a contract signing for the Universal Championship between Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman. This was awesome.
Yep.
It had all the greatest hits in it. It had Steve Austin coming out and talking shit. And it was just great. It was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was definitely some great stuff. You know, you had Stone Cold, you know, basically talking about all his best moments in Madison Square Garden. This really just, like, I thought, like, you know, exposed, like, how much I don't really think Seth Rollins is worthy of being the top guy, just comparing him to Stone Cold Steve Austin right there. And I also just watched, like, the first episode of NXT that he was on. He's just a completely different performer now.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, so I'm not going to rant about it too much. You can just watch the retro that I did for, like, NXT, the first episode in Full Sail, because I said my piece on that one. And, you know, they eventually get the contract signed, and then the OC come out, and basically it was a repeat of, you know, AJ Styles, except he was bashing Stone Cold Steve Austin, which was awesome. He's still upset that he doesn't have an opponent for the United States title. He calls Stone Cold Steve Austin old and washed up, and, you know, Stone Cold Steve Austin just basically lets a fight happen. And Rollins and Strowman fight off the OC, at least Gallows and Anderson, and behind Stone Cold Steve Austin creeps on AJ Styles, and he gets laid out with the stunner, which I thought was awesome. And yeah, it was just I thought it was a hell of a segment. I was originally gonna play back Noah's thing where he says Control C, Control V, but he's also a heel, so I don't need to do that. But I think Stone Cold Steve Austin, and there was enough creative stuff in here that made it awesome. And I do gotta say, what I liked about it being an MSG, at least this week, is Raw definitely had a nice like feel to it, because even though the set always looks the same, it just looked different, I thought, this week. But I thought the segment was a home run. But what did you think, Noah, with this segment?
You know, I usually do the Control C, Control V, but it necessarily wasn't the same thing because he didn't have a table flipped in his face. But it was a nostalgia segment. And again, we got all the greatest hits. That glass broke, crowd erupted. I will say this. It was the same set. It felt generic to me. I missed the simple sliding door set coming out of the side. I personally missed that. But I get it. Renovations. You had to change the arena. WWE doesn't have to change their format. Go figure. But this was insanely a lot of fun. The What chant, still over. Still annoys Stone Cold, you can tell. Seth Rollins putting that into his fear when he used to hate it. Be like, you know what me tonight. Braun Strowman, he essentially didn't get the handshake from Stone Cold. Both men said they had tremendous respect for Stone Cold. Then you got AJ Styles that comes out. He gets the crowd heat against him. Such a phenomenal, no pun intended, athlete and promo. And he owned this segment, in my opinion, more than Stone Cold did. The only one that was probably at the base of Stone Cold was AJ, because not only did he get the asshole chant, and Stono, of course, played off that, he got a stunner, and he sold that thing beautifully. I did enjoy this segment tremendously. But again, as far as the title match between Braun and Seth, don't care. The contract was pointless.
Yeah. The WWE needs to realize that they can, you know, easily just, you know, with internet and stuff, just send the contract over via email and they can just sign it that way. But
you know, you get the massive nostalgia pop. You get the, oh, hell yeah. You get all the great hits because nostalgia sells. Stone Cold's still the most over in WWE today. Then, now, and forever, it seems. The only thing I was disappointed in, The Fiend did not capitalize on this for whatever reason.
Yeah.
That should have happened.
We'll get into that.
But besides that, the segment to me was pretty darn cool.
Yep. We'll get into that later. But Chris, you want to continue? Unless you have anything to add to the table, but want to continue?
The segment hit a home run.
Yeah.
You know,
what was that?
Steve Austin fucking gets the biggest pops whenever he comes out, even in this era. It's awesome to see him every time like that glass shatters. It gives me goosebumps. Still to this day, he's one of my all-time favorites. I love the guy. He's awesome. But yeah.
If you don't react to Stone Cold, there's something wrong with you. Okay?
Exactly. He's something to kick ass and drink beer.
And he did both.
He did both of those. I like the what chants too. Those are funny when AJ
What?
talk every time he did the what. That was
What?
I did the what. That was funny.
What?
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 Don't what me.
All right, so that led into Cedric Alexander versus AJ Styles. This is a really, really good match. Again, the quality of opponent that AJ is going against Cedric Alexander is in the midst of this slow push that he's getting from Paul Heyman. Very great match. I forget who wins. I think it was Cedric, right? Yes.
By disqualification.
What happens is AJ was selling the stunner. I would have had this be a squash, because it would have AJ would have had an out since he just got the stunner. Just have Cedric win quick with the lumbar check, and then that's that. But they had a match. Gallows and Anderson, who I guess fought off Rollins and Strowman won. And came out and interfered, and they were beating down. The OC was beating down Cedric, and continuity, which I liked. The Viking Raiders come out, and they fight off the OC, and I believe they hit the Viking Experience on
I hate the name.
Yeah,
the Viking.
And
I mean, this was as expected. It was the only title that did not have a freaking match set up for a Clash of Champions where all the titles are to be defended. You knew since last week this was the direction they were going to go in. They made it official this week. AJ Styles and Alexander, as far as that match goes, as soon as I saw the DQ, there's our title match. But I do like the fact that we're finally seeing some real tag team action maybe developing, because now we got the Viking Raiders, don't mention the War Experience, should be War Raiders, versus the friggin' OC, the hell with that name, the Good Brothers. It's New Japan Pro Wrestling all over again, folks. These four can give you one hell of a match. I cannot wait for that to be official. And AJ Styles, to his credit, he not only sold the stunner, because he was all discombobulated during this too. Cedric Alexander, story continuity, he came out here like a ball of hellfire, ready to beat the guy up. Pretty good match.
Okay, so next I think this is something I really love about WWE still to this day is they're so charitable. They brought Roman Reigns out, and they brought the Connor's Cure kids out onto the stage to give them their own entrance and their own ovation, singularly and all together. Really just a great segment from WWE, and it just shows how charitable they are, and just it's awesome. 50,000 thumbs up.
Yeah, Roman Reigns' delivery was, because obviously he's gone through this before. It actually felt like genuine. It wasn't like one of those WWE scripted charity things. You could tell they have him say you could tell Roman Reigns' words were genuine.
It was one of those things where it was not PR because it literally is based off a true story. Because Roman Reigns went through it and still lives with it. This was very sentimental. But I will say this. WWE is becoming, I think, for the kids now. You find more YouTube exclusives with kids answering questions, doing dances, blah, 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 being on the stage. The only thing I will say about this, if it wasn't Madison Square Garden, this should have been a YouTube exclusive. But with the fact they do this every month, this PR segment felt proper, delivered on the show. I have no complaints.
So next we had the match that was hyped up for almost the entire week, which was the Four Horsewomen collide in a tag team match where it's Bayley and Sasha Banks, the Boston Hug Connection, back together again, versus the team of Charlotte and Becky Lynch, which is interesting because they just had a blood feud recently, and I kind of like the continuity. They showed them backstage, fucking staring at each other awkwardly. They couldn't stand to be around each other, but for some reason it worked well. Just all out chaos as you think it would be, and Becky and Charlotte win after Charlotte hits natural selection for the win for her team. This is a very good matchup. Charlotte was very face in this match as opposed to being heel, which she's been for quite a while now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's just the direction they're going with.
Well, with the whole idea of Boss and Hug being heel, you got to have some sort of face in SmackDown Live, even though Bayley's playing the naive, I'm doing this for you, for the division. Charlotte needs to stop the freaking moonsault. She missed that by a mile. She's going to break her legs if she doesn't stop.
Maybe that was awful.
Maybe her chest was weighing her down. I don't know. But this match was really something, and boy, did it get the time. You can definitely tell how much stock WWE is putting in their women's division now, especially these four, the four self-proclaimed horsewomen of WWE. I thought this was a really good match, I gotta be honest, but Charlotte Flair needs to stop the moonsault. And as far as the chemistry here, you could tell that Sasha and Bayley were on the same page. Becky and Charlotte, not so much.
I liked it, and I could kind of believe that, like, you know, Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch were kind of on the same page because, you know, the enemy of my enemy becomes my friend, and they had a common enemy
too, also.
Yeah, that's true. They were formerly like Tea Party or whatever, but right now it's a new day and age, and I mean, you know, the man thing, you know, I'm sure Charlotte still holds that against Becky, so there's still some animosity between the two. But again, these four had tremendous chemistry overall.
You know, I really like too that like German suplex. I believe that you know, I think Sasha Banks did on like the floor to Becky Lynch. And you know, it was just a really solid match. Just really go watch it. Like I could like break it down all day, but it's really good. It's probably like one of the best like women's tag matches I've seen like ever.
It's probably one of the best matches from WWE Women's Division this year. Think about it. They have not been showcased this high or this long probably since WrestleMania.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't really mind that, you know, the Boss and Hug Connection lost because I feel like the match was just so good. Everybody came out like looking strong here. Charlotte Flair pinned Bayley, which ties into the SmackDown Women's Championship match, gives Charlotte Flair some nice momentum going into that.
Momentum.
Yeah.
There's a momentum, yeah, exactly. But it also still ties that tension between the Raw Championship match because Sasha and Becky, they don't know who the better woman is yet.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'm not going to rant about Bayley's heel turn yet. That's coming on SmackDown this week. Because SmackDown this week kind of ruined it. But Raw here.
We got time.
Well, Raw's never their show either.
Yeah, I'm just saying, though, like, you know, SmackDown did it. She was good on Raw, but SmackDown did it, like, awful. So,
well, like I told you guys, SmackDown Live has always been my preferred brand out of the two. I've enjoyed it more based on the matches I've seen from its history, the moments it has brought me, and its roster overall. But as far as this day and age, it's 2019, and the wild card makes both shows feel the same. But I will say this, so far this Raw has not really pissed me off yet.
All right. I mean, I have said everything I need to say.
Yep. So, the OC is backstage, and Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler come up to them and fucking basically say we're forming an alliance.
Yep.
Weird. It's just a weird. I don't know why it didn't. I just don't know why. Like, just weird.
I'm gonna continue to say Gallows and Anderson should be fighting for the titles tomorrow, not Roode and Ziggler.
Yeah, exactly.
Why are we having a tag team championship match between two legitimate non-tag teams? It doesn't make any sense to me. And if you're going to have Roode and Ziggler team up with the OC, they might as well join the OC and become a dominant super faction.
No, I don't want those. I do not want Dolph Ziggler.
I agree with that. Yeah.
From AJ Styles.
Or finally give me a name for Dolph and freaking Roode. Call them Dirty Heels 2.0 from TNA. Call them the Glorious Show Off. Call them Glorious Heels. Give me something. But I will say this, because, again, Bobby Roode is one of my all-time favorites, as you know. The It Factor of professional wrestling, the former NXT champion, the glorious one. At least he's getting TV time. Paul Heyman believes in the value of this guy. And Dolph Ziggler is a guy who's known to be used to put over other talent. It's clear that they're trying to do this to put over Bobby Roode. I'm not calling him Robert. His name is Bobby Roode. And this isn't even close to what Beer Money could have been.
No. But yeah, the backstage segment like sets up the main event, so that I guess that's
Basically,
yeah.
with the great Dolph Ziggler.
Nope.
Holla, holla, holla. We got a tag team match players, but boy, was it overstocked. But we're not there yet. Moving on. Where's Teddy Long, by the way? I missed him.
I know,
Same.
yeah. My God, he would. I remember he just showed up a few times, like last year, the year before, a couple years ago, unannounced, and tried to make a tag team match, and it was kind of funny because he wasn't the GM.
Did you guys see the memes that posted like every time he's forced someone to face the Undertaker in a match?
Yes, and they
Yep.
even did a video collection of you're gonna go 1-on-1 with the Undertaker, and we see the guys reacting like,
Yep.
I mean, Teddy Long is still one of my favorite GMs of all time.
Well,
I mean,
he was awesome. Like
he's still awesome because
he's
obviously
so great.
they care about what Teddy Long did because what do we keep getting? Tag team matches, tag team matches, tag team matches. It's getting ridiculous.
He was the best SmackDown general manager.
Agree,
Hands down, by
100%.
far.
I'm gonna move my laptop because obviously you can tell this is going well. So Chris, just take you're taking over as host until for like 2 seconds.
Okay,
Yeah,
so moving on, next segment.
So Rey Mysterio versus Grand Metalik. This is just a great matchup between, Grand Metalik and Rey Mysterio. Rey gets the win. It's a comeback match, I'm assuming. I think so from injury.
Basically, yeah.
They continue along with that storyline where, eventually we're probably going to get Dominic eventually. But again, Rey's still got some juice left in the tank, and Grand Metalik is very capable of going with him because they have like the same style. Very similar in terms of like in-ring ability.
The problem was the placement of this match in the card, besides anything else I'll get into. They were coming off that hot 2-on-2 women's tag match. The crowd was a little burnt out, a little dead. And then you had that scary spot where Grand Metalik goes over the top rope, and Rey catches him with the side of his head and neck. Did not get his hands up in time. I felt this match could have been really great, but I felt it under-delivered. However, it at least is continuing that continuity of Rey Mysterio's story of, I can keep doing this. I can still keep up with these guys. It wasn't surprising that they have him go all through all three members of Lucha House Party. And as far as your end angle with Dominic, I don't see him taking on his father. I see them ending in a tag match together where Rey passes off his mask to him. That's my future booking.
Yeah, so I'll say this: like,
Cool.
I thought the match was really very good. Obviously, Rey Mysterio winning made sense, and Grand Metalik looked really good in the match. It's probably his best like match he's had, post CWC. And like hopefully raise his stock a bit. And I think that Dominic storyline was supposed to happen like months ago, but then Rey got hurt, so they had to like delay it a little bit. So that's why they're doing the storyline now. But I really like it. And yeah, I just thought it was a very good match. Very back and forth. It's like kind of like old school versus new school, like Lucha Libre wrestling.
Yep.
So there you go.
And Grand
It's
Metalik
like,
tremendous
it's like
respect
old
for
school
Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio versus like present day Rey Mysterio.
Yes.
Kind of. I mean, think about what they've been doing with Rey, though. Andrade, Grand Metalik. What's next? Lince Dorado? Kalisto? Are we just going to focus on the Latinos for now?
I would like
gotta
to put over the Latino star.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moving on.
Triple threat for the right to go on to the finals of the King of the Ring tournament happening on Raw, not Clash of Champions. This is a this is a good matchup.
Yeah.
But Ricochet hits the 630. Very scary looking 630, I might add.
Yeah.
Almost didn't get Samoa Joe at all.
Yeah.
And
That
Baron
would've been
Corbin,
bad.
the scumbag heel, tosses Ricochet out of the ring and wins and celebrates like he fucking just hit end of days for the victory. It's all right. It was okay match. I mean, the whole purpose was to get Baron Corbin over anyway. And it's okay, I guess.
Yeah, I like the match. One spot that was weird is I didn't really understand when Joe had the Coquilla clutch on Corbin on the outside, why Ricochet felt the need to do that, shooting star press on the outside, and why did Joe sell it? Because he didn't get hit with it at all. You could say, well, Corbin took it and he took it, that's why. But if you watch the replay, Samoa Joe doesn't take this move at all. He's not even anywhere near it. That made no sense. And I'm just gonna rant. I'm gonna continue to rant, not about the Baron Corbin thing because I kind of was expecting it. Use Samoa Joe better. Samoa Joe should be used so much better than to be a fall guy in a triple threat match. That's just absolutely ridiculous. I guess it's just more him talking and not winning. That's just stupid.
Yeah.
So
we projected that. We predicted that would happen, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. And I even said this.
But it's just stupid. And I guess that report that they wanted to make Ricochet look strong because you could say he did, but this match didn't get Ricochet over really at all. Let's be honest. It got Corbin over. And it's if you were just gonna do this, why did you just do a one-on-one match? So I like the match, but we know the inevitability that's coming, especially with SmackDown this week. We know what's coming, so it's this is just stupid, and everyone's gonna say I'm not supporting this. I'm not supporting this King of the Ring tournament now. I hate it because of the result that's coming. Because it's not about the journey. It's about results. People that say it's about the journey, not the destination sucks, and this destination is gonna suck.
All right, so let me just put it to you like this. Last week, I saw this. I'm like, why? When I did my King of the Ring bracket in the very beginning, despite shenanigans, you know who I had for King of the Ring. All hail King Corbin. Face it, guys. Baron Corbin is a Vince guy. He also is finally wrestling like a normal wrestler again. He's not an Applebee's waiter. He's wrestling in a tank top and stuff. And he actually does pretty good in the ring. But they booked him now as the sympathetic babyface here because you finally get a bye. No, he has to do another challenge now in a triple threat. All this was to bring more momentum to Baron Corbin. And yes, Samoa Joe is becoming the Cesaro. He's literally becoming the fall guy. It is what it is. But the bottom line is this. It got the crowd saying, let's go Corbin. Corbin sucks. That's a result. And yeah, that outside angle with the shooting star press in a triple threat. I don't know, Ricochet must have forgot it's a triple threat. There's no countouts, no disqualifications. It didn't make no sense to me either. Again, the only one that came out strong in this was simply Baron Corbin, whether you hate the guy or support him or not.
There you go.
King
You get something, by the way, if your bracket wins. No, just curious.
What?
Do you get something if Baron Corbin wins the King of the Ring?
I get bragging rights, but since they completely destroyed our brackets for not only this match, but a match we're going to go into the following day, that strip thing that Aaron was going to do, null and void.
So yeah, you were all happy about Baron Corbin winning.
It's not so much I was happy; it just makes sense. Sometimes I need to follow logic versus my heart. Now, if you want to talk to me about heart, wait till we get to SmackDown Live.
And logic, that's also logic. So
a little bit.
Moving
on.
Okay, so to be honest, I fucking forgot this match even happened. Lacey Evans.
So
I forgot that this happened.
Do you really need to know what happens though for this match? Really?
Lacey Evans win.
No, Natalya won. It's 50-50.
Okay, so she got to win back.
This match
Control V. Aha!
This match is probably the worst. When we do our year-end awards for Raw, it's not going to win the worst match of the year, but it's going to be in the categories because this match was crap. I thought this match was crap.
Well, guess what? Half of the match is Lacey Evans. She's fucking terrible.
People in the Wrestling Observer thought this was an okay match. I feel like they were watching a different match than I was.
Oh, they definitely were because Lacey Evans sucks.
All right, guys. First off, calm down. Secondly, Lacey Evans should have stuck to her Marine background and should have come out more like a sergeant. And at this point, should start her own faction. Maybe bring up, I don't know, Dana Brooks, Sarah Logan. That way you try and elevate 3 superstars at once. In her current position and current stance, yes, she absolutely sucks. This match I knew had to go on 50-50 booking because Lacey Evans won the last one. And they're not going to push Lacey to anything. The next thing Lacey's bound to do, if anything, is be the queen to friggin' Baron Corbin if they bring those two back together. But the bottom line is this match was absolutely unnecessary. This is when the show got shut down.
I want to say one thing. It's not that Lacey Evans sucks. She was called up to NXT like way too early. Like
many others, correct.
So there's that.
Okay, moving on.
I'm not even gonna say the 24/7 championship thing.
He doesn't want it because it happened on main event.
Moving on.
I'm not saying it.
Yep.
I'm not saying it.
I've said my piece. I said my piece on it. And look, I know it's. I feel like they just could have done something better this week with the 24/7 championship. But
let's be honest, the 24/7 championship is a complete joke. It doesn't matter anymore. It's just literally to get you social media buzz about we're WWE. Look at what we do.
Yep.
Firefly Funhouse.
This was awesome.
I'm not singing the theme, but I love this.
It's saying that he's money.
Man,
That's basically what it is.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Shoving money into Vince's mouth.
No, that was last week.
Stranger danger. Stranger danger.
Yeah, that was
danger.
Whatever, it's awesome. I don't care.
Yeah.
Firefly Funhouse.
We do got to talk about the one thing that came from it because it's pretty important. So, you know, he hints like he's gonna go after Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Abby the Witch is saying that he should, and I love it too because this was the first time like Bray Wyatt like was kind of channeling the Fiend like in it, like he was getting like serious, and he put like the glove on that said like hurt, hurt, hurt.
You saw him listening to it basically. It's like.
Yep. And
he asked the clock that said 3:16, and what did it change to? 11:19. What was significant about that?
No, don't say it, Noah. Don't say it.
I'm not gonna say it.
Say it.
I'm not gonna say it.
It was the day Undertaker debuted.
Bingo, my friend. They are setting up or teasing Undertaker versus The Fiend. At Survivor Series, nonetheless.
But Survivor Series isn't that day. But yeah, it was the day Undertaker. Stay away from the Undertaker, or else I will be the biggest critic of the. Because you know what's going to happen once he gets to the Undertaker. I don't want that to happen. That is not happening.
What if the Undertaker wins in a 15-second squash match?
I would love it.
Then the Fiend is destroyed.
No.
There goes the most creative thing WWE has done in a long time. But yeah, this segment was awesome about stranger danger and like Stone Cold, I forgive you, all this type of stuff. And it's literally just advertising the idea of, because let's face it, and you know this, Survivor Series is the pay-per-view of The Undertaker. So the fact that Undertaker signed a lifetime contract, but you wonder, why does he still need to be in the ring? Because you know his body. Because again, he's only human. Who can Undertaker put over, and how can you write him off? I'm sorry, Owen, to me this is the perfect way to send Undertaker off in the sunset with his family. You don't need him in the ring anymore. You really don't.
I can't. No comment. No comment.
We need a comment.
Wait till SmackDown Live. He'll talk during then because I bet you Undertaker shares the same consensus as I do. But anyway, Chris, Raw, continue.
Then we had our main event of the
evening.
Oh,
good Lord. I forgot. What a cluster bleep of a tag match. Jeez.
Robert Roode, Dolph Ziggler experience and the OC versus the Viking experience, Cedric Alexander, Seth Rollins, and Braun Strowman. This is good. Clusterfuck of a match. Babyfaces win. Send the crowd home happy.
Yeah.
Cedric gets the big fucking pin to close out the show. And about a half a second after Cedric gets the win, Steve Austin's music hits. Actually, he wasn't even supposed to be on the end of the show. They switched it last second.
Go figure.
And so he came out, beer bash, fucking awesome, incredible, awesome, amazing. Can't even come up with other words. Great. Steve Austin's amazing. And then post show, Steve Austin was really pumping AJ's tires about how great he is, what he thinks is a jackass, and then he gives AJ a beer. AJ accepts it. Stunner. AJ has a beautiful sell of the stunner.
Not as good as The Rock.
And then he throws beers to the guys on the outside, mainly Gallows and Anderson.
It was pretty funny. Yeah, this match was a mess, but I get it. You're trying to hype up a match, the Universal title match, and you finally set up your last match for a title needed, the U.S. title. What a major coup for Cedric Alexander, not to necessarily pin the... I don't think he pinned the champ, did he? I don't remember. Anyway, Cedric Alexander, he won the main event in Madison Square Garden, and he is now facing AJ for the U.S. title. It was a fun match, and then we still had a couple minutes of what happens. Stone Cold comes out, they all drink beer. And a fun match. I thought it was a bit overbooked, but I guess you're going to do go home. This is the way to do it. I thought it was okay.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not really a huge fan too of like thrown together tag matches. You could say this one maybe isn't as thrown together, but you kind of just with the way the show was being like booked, it kind of felt thrown together. Like you saw backstage, like Seth and Braun, like randomly were involved in this, which I didn't really think Seth and Braun needed to be here. They didn't. One thing though that this match should have done, and I feel like could have done, is build up more, of a rivalry between Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman, but it didn't do any of that.
It actually kind of did. There was a miscommunication angle one point during the match. Hence, like I said, a go-home angle. So now you feel there's a little animosity between them. So does this convey that Braun's going to cost Seth the tag title and go in as heel versus him for the Universal title? Again, I thought it was okay, just a little overbooked.
Yeah. I like Cedric getting the win, though. I wouldn't have done the Stone Cold thing because I thought that kind of took the shine off of Cedric. But other than that, I liked it. I liked the bit afterwards where, Austin kind of like put over AJ Styles, then laid him out with the stunner. And then, because I love Impractical Jokers, I love the bit where he called out Sal Vulcano afterwards. So I thought that was awesome. Because, so if you watch Impractical Jokers, that's probably like Sal Vulcano's dream because he's like a huge professional wrestling fan. So.
Yeah, imagine him being involved in the next year's Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, and it's him versus Braun Strowman in the end.
I wouldn't complain about that, honestly.
That match might as well die. But anyway, so I guess that's it for Raw, right?
Yep. So let's do the letter grade. So we're gonna add a new thing. We're gonna do the letter grades. But for example, if you give Raw like a B-, you're gonna say you'll give like the number like an 81 out of 100 or something like that. I want to do something new.
Typical grading scale. I get you.
Yeah. So we'll start with since Chris was the one that was kind of hosting it. Let's start with Chris Dodd. What is Chris Dodd's letter grade for what?
B+. I give it an 89 out of 100.
Okay. What about you, Noah?
Well, first off, this is your go home, the Clash of Champions. I'll admit, they set up their last match for their title on Raw. It enlisted a little bit of interest for the Universal and the tag titles, a little bit. And I thought both women titles were really forecased here of what you can think the feel is going into both these matches on Sunday. That being said, there was a pointless filler. Metalik and Mysterio could have been more. I think the contract signing was unnecessary. And I feel like the biggest thing about this show was you had Stone Cold Madison Square Garden. But this was definitely overall one of the better Raws I have seen. And of course, Five Eye Funhouse always excites me. I actually agree with Chris. B+ with the same exact grade, 89%.
I basically, agree. I also thought too, like WWE hadn't been in Madison Square Garden on like TV since 2015, and that MSG special on the network. So I thought they really needed to hit a home run, and I thought they did. I'm gonna go B+, 89.
All right. Wow, we're all unanimous for once.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a very easy Raw to sit through. So there you go.
It was for the most part. Again, like I said, there was like a couple seconds I was like, but beyond that, I'm okay.
And then we're not okay because here comes SmackDown. So SmackDown took place on September 10th, 2019. We had Corey Graves, Tom Phillips, and Byron Saxton on commentary for this show. Now, I will admit, Huh?
Can't believe it.
I know, yeah. Isn't it? It could change someday. It's gonna change in a month, so
It's going to, but we'll talk more about that later. Continue.
so I will say, no matter what grade I give SmackDown, I thought SmackDown was worth watching just based off the opening segment alone. Because obviously everyone knows by the background. I don't know if you can see it because I don't have the Skype like open.
You
It's
can
just
see it. I think. Look, if no one knows what a black robe on a man looks like with long black hair when you're talking about WWE, you obviously been living under a rock your whole life.
Yep. So Undertaker returns. This was his first time like in Madison Square Garden since I believe Survivor Series 2000. No, not Survivor Series 2009. It was the Go Home Meal show of Survivor Series 2009.
There you go.
And yeah, he returns and he cuts an ominous promo talking about how it's possibly going to be his last time walking to the win at Survivor Series, talking about how all the legends and superstars have made their name at Madison Square Garden. He puts over all the current talent. And then we have the delusional Sami Zayn come out. And look, I love Sami Zayn, but he's talking crap to the Undertaker. Sami Zayn's not winning any brownie points today. So he says that he should step down and give people like him a chance to rise up into the top, which I'm sorry, Sami Zayn, but even if Undertaker did step down, you're not rising to the top. So there you go. He tells him Undertaker to path towards to him. Undertaker hands him like his style microphone, and you think he's gonna leave, and Undertaker then just hits a choke slam on Sami Zayn, and obviously I'm very biased. I absolutely love this because Undertaker's my guy, so I gotta. I'm very supportive of this, so I thought this was like 1,000. If I had 1,000 thumbs, they would all be going up, all of them, every single one of those thumbs. So I absolutely love this, and yeah, I might be the only one, but I just absolutely loved it. So there you go. Let's start with Noah. What did Noah think of this?
This was your typical Undertaker moment of the night that got the ominous entrance, the music, and the crowd hot. Once again, nostalgia sells. But I will say this, it did deliver some continuity to what Bray Wyatt might have been teasing or referring to, and maybe Undertaker's like, this may be my last battle. Well, why the hell, of all things to interrupt this, was Sami Zayn the guy to be the one to do it? Just on that alone, this segment fell flat, because all you got from this was a typical Undertaker drops the guy, leaves the ring, but there's no continuity or connection whatsoever. Not the greatest thing. Cool to see Undertaker, but I wanted to see either the lights dim, a teaser mind game type video from The Fiend, or even Bray Rogers Firefly Funhouse coming up, greeting this stranger, giving you the idea of strangers can be your friends. This could have been so much more than what it was. This fell flat for me.
That's fine. What did Chris think of this?
It's Undertaker. It's great.
All right, there you go.
100,000 thumbs up. Undertaker, great.
Way to keep it simple.
Then the show falls off cliff. So earlier in the day, we found out Elias went out due to an injury. So pretty much the King of the Ring tournament, since Noah had his bracket thing going, it kind of messed him up. So they tried to say, everyone be excited because we don't know what's going to happen with Chad Gable. Stay tuned. And apparently WWE's been forgetting how tournaments work, because since Elias went out due to an injury, Chad Gable sort of immediately gotten a bye in the tournament in advance, but not in WWE land. So what happens? Shane McMahon, basically says he's just going to find a new opponent. It could be somebody from Raw, SmackDown, or someone that's already been in the tournament that's eliminated. So that just basically spits all over the tournament. Yeah, I thought this backstage segment was stupid. And, I'm just sick of seeing Shane McMahon on my television. We're just gonna like condense all the Shane McMahon stuff because it's pissing me off enough where we just got to talk about it all at once. So then what happens? Later on in the night, we see Matt Hardy and Apollo Crews backstage. Shane McMahon pops up looking for Chad Gable, and because Chad Gable's short, they do like a lot of jokes where because he's so short he can't find him. And Shane McMahon says, I found you a suitable opponent that Elias would approve of. Let me go get him. And he just walked back himself saying that it's just him. This was stupid. So, yeah. Then later on in the night, he goes backstage to Kevin Owens, who's like lost all of his babyface persona that he had back, before SummerSlam. By the way, everyone says like Kevin Owens is supposed to be the new Stone Cold. Not after SummerSlam, not anymore. That's all gone now. And basically he implies that Kevin Owens should cheat, so that way he'll release the fine, which makes no sense because Kevin Owens probably makes enough money where he could just pay the fine. But nope, that's not going to happen. I mean, even he's saying that he's doing this for his kid's college fund, but his wife's just going to probably use the money to go to like Disney World or like, concerts anyways. So it's not like that matters. And then we had the match, and Kevin Owens fast counts Shane McMahon after the Chaos German suplex. And yeah, that was just stupid because, it kind of defeated the purpose of Kevin Owens being the ref in the first place. So then Shane McMahon makes it a 2 out of 3 falls match. And right after that happens, Kevin Owens, of course, feels the need to finally side with Shane McMahon, even though you're the reason that, like, it's a 2 out of 3 falls match to begin with. And it's basically, Kevin Owens, trying to cheat for Shane McMahon, and it just doesn't really work. And Chad Gable just makes Shane McMahon tap out to the ankle lock, and afterwards, Shane McMahon attacks Kevin Owens, and fires him, which makes the match at SummerSlam pointless now. It's the Authority angle all over again. The Authority were kicked out of power at Survivor Series 2014, just to be brought back like 6 weeks later, just for Eric Rowan, Dolph Ziggler to be fired anyways. So, basically, it's that all over again. I absolutely hated this, and this is part of the reason I absolutely hated SmackDown. This storyline sucks, and it's just Shane McMahon needs to get off TV. He's getting to the point where, he's just go away heat, because this is just absolutely stupid. So I hated every single second of this. So let's start with Chris. We're going to save the Noah rant for the end, because we got to build to that. What did you think of all this like Shane McMahon storyline stuff that they had going on throughout the show?
It's weird because they're trying to like do Austin and McMahon again. It's just weird. I don't know.
I'll ask you a question, Chris. Say this stuff happened with Austin and McMahon. Stone Cold Steve Austin never would have gotten over in the Attitude Era. Like, pretty much.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why Kevin Owens isn't going to get... Like, pretty much Kevin Owens is never going to get... Even if Kevin Owens now, like, comes back and starts, like, tormenting Shane McMahon, like, they kind of squandered everything that they could have done with Kevin Owens because of these next few weeks of storyline. So,
I'm indifferent on it.
But let's get to Noah.
When the fuck did SmackDown Live become unbearable? Are you kidding me with this shit? You got Shane McMahon, best in the world bullshit, trophy must die, taking TV time once again when we could have a much more better, capable match. Give Aleister Black something to do or Buddy Murphy something to do. Make those two face each other one-on-one. Just give Chad Gable the bye for someone new. You got to insert yourself in this bullshit because you have to be that 40 figure. You have to be number one. A 40 figures have to come over because you're a fucking McMahon. Fuck you to hell. Go off TV. Joey needs to die, needs to be written off. But no, you write off Kevin Owens. You're trying to listen to this baby run and call him the freaking Stone Cold and Vince. That is bullshit. The only light at the end of the tunnel of this is Chad Gable is still in the finals of King of the Ring. He's going to face Baron Corbin. And we got Kevin Owens going to NXT maybe. This was absolute bullshit and makes me not want to watch SmackDown Live anymore. If Shane McMahon would have won that fucking match, I would have canceled my subscription to WWE Network and never watched SmackDown Live again. He is ruining the freaking product. Weird my ass. This was a waste of time. And you know how bad it was because as soon as this ended, I, along with the crowd, chanted AEW.
There you go. Because they're coming. So, all right, now let's just go over the rest of SmackDown. We had, putting it back to like earlier in the show, The Miz versus Andrade with Zelina Vega with Shinsuke Nakamura on commentary. I thought this match was unnecessary. Well, I'm kind of sick of the way Andrade is being used. He's basically, it seems weird. They're so high on this guy, but like He never wins when it counts. He's basically Samoa Joe, except when he yeah. Pretty much Shinsuke Nakamura, anytime he would respond, he would only respond in Japanese because, Sami Zayn's, the translator, was laid out, but, that's just weird. The Miz wins with the Skull Crushing finale, which looked scary because I think they botched it because when Andrade went for, like, the German suplex or whatever, like, they had some miscommunication getting off the top turnbuckle. I guess we could say it was nice that Zelina Vega, like, got to be in Madison Square Garden. I have to knock her down a little bit of a peg. She didn't really compete. She just stood around and took a cheap shot. So, you didn't really do much at Madison Square Garden. And I would have, said it otherwise, but SmackDown Live's pissing me off that, I got to just call it as I see it. You came up and just stood around. So, you didn't really do much. So, sorry, that's just the truth. But, what did you think of this match, Noah? I personally just thought it didn't really benefit anybody.
It fell flat. All you're doing is trying to say that The Miz can be a kibble competitor to the challenge for the Intercontinental title when I know he's going to lose, because the only time I see Miz ever become an Intercontinental champion again, even if they're trying to beat Jericho's record or put a big middle finger to him, is if Miz goes heel, and I don't see that happening anytime soon. We didn't even get Zelina Vega getting involved here doing her hurricane run off the apron. That would have been a nice spot. And then you have Shinsuke Nakamura speaking Japanese. We already know he can speak English, but I guess Sami Zayn's not his manager. He's his translator. But Corey Graves insisted on translating everything, Nakamura said, and probably was just lying through his teeth. This whole thing was pointless. If you're going to hype the angle to the Intercontinental title, it should have been Shinsuke Nakamura in another squash match and Miz promo on Titantron while Sami speaks on Nakamura's behalf. This was stupid, and all you're doing is furthering the idea of how great Andrade should be, but you're not going to let him be that. Andrade, Cesaro, Samoa Joe, all being wasted by WWE.
What does Chris think?
I thought this match was fine. I thought Andrade was a little spotty at times, especially when he took that bump unnecessarily over the top rope. And that botched finish into the Skull Crushing finale, ooh, that was rough. But again, they needed some momentum for the Miz going into Clash of Champions on Sunday.
Yeah, I still don't care about the IC title match though. So good luck with that.
Yeah, I mean they could have done it without sacrificing Andrade. They could have had Miz have a squash match, I think, or something. But then we had Heavy Machinery backstage making a protein shake. That was funny. Bayley was backstage. Ember Moon comes up. And this is where I have a problem with Bayley's heel turn. And I'll get to that in a second. Ember Moon comes up and it's kind of wondering all of a sudden now what the hell happened to you? You wanted to elevate the division, but all you're doing is just hurting the division. And she says, that are you really doing this because, you're upset that Becky Lynch is overshadowing you? And then she basically mentions the fact that, she was pinned last night or the previous night on Raw, and this leads to a match. My problem, and I said this in the chat, I told Chris this privately because I meant to send it in the chat, but accidentally privately sent it to Chris. Just Bayley's heel turn, while it's nothing really wrong with it, it just feels like that it's just random. And out of nowhere. It doesn't feel like a lot of thought's been put into it because she's literally the same character, and not really any different.
It's almost like Sami Zayn 2.0, except Sami Zayn has yet to hold a title.
And Sami Zayn, I mean, I like Bayley, but he's, I think he's way more talented, so that's why he's pulling, and he's able to pull it off, I think, easier. So, because the thing is he's great on the mic and can just be that asshole where. We haven't really seen that with Bayley yet, so there's that. So, Chris, since we just condensed these segments into one, what do you think of these backstage segments? Yes, whatever.
Yeah.
Then Heavy Machinery squashed Johnny Silver and Alex Keaton. It was a nice squash. Otis does the caterpillar, and then they win with the compactor. I forget which one it was on because I didn't really, get a good look.
Both jobbers are already forgotten. Why did he take his straps down when he did the caterpillar? I don't know. That was a little weird.
But you know what? I was fine with this. nice squash for Heavy Machinery. It's just, do something with them, and maybe they will. But, I was fine with this. I'm good.
You can only hope.
Yeah. What do you think, Chris, of the squash?
It was needed.
Yeah. Is it because you like? To see Otis?
Yes, I
Yeah.
love him.
What about you, Noah? What do you think of this?
I mean, you gotta try and re-elevate Heavy Machinery. You gotta build them up again, right? Allegedly a challenge for the SmackDown Live Tag Team titles, whoever might be holding those. So, fun little moment for the crowd. Got to see Heavy Machinery on TV. It was meh. Same thing for the other two segments backstage. Subtle hints of Bayley envious maybe at Becky, being egged on by Ember Moon, but again, till this thing fully goes, I don't know how much I'm gonna believe in this. So all three together, meh.
Then we had the Eric Rowan promo. This was like his first promo since it was revealed that he was really Roman Reigns' attacker all along. He comes out and he talks about how he's not going to be anybody's puppet anymore. But before he can really say anything, Roman Reigns comes out. This leads to a big brawl. Roman Reigns hits a Superman punch, and then he goes to charge at him and hit a spear, but Rowan reverses it, throws him into the barricade, and then they fight into the crowd. Roman Reigns hits a Superman punch, but then Eric Rowan takes a fan that was a plant and power bombs him into Roman Reigns, into the security guard, and Eric Rowan and Roman Reigns have to be held back. Eric Rowan's just laying everybody out, but Roman Reigns continues to fight back, hits the Superman punch, but then Eric Rowan grabs one of those cameras and hits Roman Reigns with it, and that was pretty much that. And then backstage, he's looking for Roman Reigns, and we didn't really find out any popular demand for it. So, really didn't care for any of this. I feel like this Roman Reigns storyline just really fell off a cliff. It started out well, originally, and then we find out that Buddy Murphy really wasn't supposed to be there, so they had to do something with that, and it just didn't really feel like that they had an end goal. All I'm gonna say, go watch What Culture Wrestling. Watch how WWE should have booked the Roman Reigns attacker, and once you watch that, you'll understand how it should have been done. Because I could literally tell you about it, but why not give it a nice free promotion of What Culture? Because they did it. The way that was booked was pretty goddamn. Wasn't perfect, but it was better than this, and it was actually pretty goddamn good. So the fact that it was Eric Rowan all along just is really stupid. But yeah, so I didn't obviously I didn't like any of this, and it just feels like Roman Reigns should be doing a lot more, especially too since he's doing that patriotic cancer stuff, and he's feuding with Roman Reigns. He's supposed to be the face of the company, and he's just not really doing it a lot. I don't know if this I don't know if they're just hesitant about putting him in the main title program because they're afraid of the reaction he's gonna get, but I feel like you got to do it eventually. So I don't know. I'm just not a fan of this. So Chris, let's start with you.
I thought this was good. I liked it a lot. I like that Eric Rowan is the guy because Roman needs new challenges instead of the same old fucking people over and over and over again. I really like it a lot. I like that segment, and I'm actually looking forward to this match.
And then we have what do you think of this?
Is it weird how this match has seemed to have gotten more build put into it than anything else on the card this Sunday, and it's not even a championship match? I'm just saying. Yep. I'm pretty sure this match is the reason why King of the Ring is moved to Monday Night Raw, but I guess that's another rant for another day. But anyway, I'll admit, it's go home. This was a good way to build this go home. It literally felt like these two wanted to beat the crap out of each other. Now, whether you had the whole fan plant thing and the camera angle thing where Roman just immediately gets up as extra, that's another story. But as far as Roman's promo, meh. They tried this before when he tried to go up against Luke Harper about you don't go against the family. Basically, now he's saying nobody can control me. And there's no Daniel Bryan involvement or presence at all in this, which also makes me wonder, where does Daniel Bryan stand in all this? Is this a higher power type storyline where it's going to be Daniel Bryan all along? Is Daniel Bryan going to face Rowan at some point? Because I still think we need Roman versus Daniel Bryan. That's what I wanted in the first place. And yes. I would rather have that non-Clash of Champions because, again, it's supposed to just be championship matches. But again, as far as this segment goes, this build goes, and the match setup goes, I was okay with it to an extent.
Sorry, you froze. I don't know if I froze or if you guys froze, but
Did you hear
would
me
you
at
think?
all? Was everything good there? Chris, did you hear me all that?
Yeah.
Okay, then I think I was good. So yeah, bottom line, okay with it.
All right, now we gotta skip back because I actually forgot to break down a match. I skipped over it. Mandy Rose with Sonya Deville versus Nikki Cross.
Oh, that's
With
how relevant it was, but go ahead.
Mandy Rose does a promo saying that she's much prettier than Nikki Cross, and she shows like a picture, and I guess she has a point, but I really don't think Nikki Cross is ugly, but that's just personal opinion. If you actually like watch pictures of her outside this gimmick,
Thank you, Cherry on Armbar, but I also knew that because I watched her in ICW. She was formerly known as Queen of the Galaxy, but continue.
Yeah. So Nikki Cross comes out, and they're randomly baby faces. It just kind of like I want to see them as baby faces, but the turn just feels random. And they have a match. Nikki Cross wins with the most devastating move in all of professional wrestling, the roll up, and beats Mandy Rose. That really didn't make any sense considering the fact that it kind of is like I said, it's typical WWE when it comes to title matches. The champions will lose and then they'll get the win back. Really, no one benefits. Women's tag team titles mean nothing, absolutely nothing. But I do want to see and I don't even know if they're going to continue with this Nikki Cross, Alexa Bliss babyface one because we've been down that path before. They'll just come right back out and be heels. So I didn't really care for this, but hopefully they keep Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss as a face team. And who do they feud with after this? Because this is the only tag team other than the Iconics, and we've kind of seen that already. But
they beat them too.
Yeah. So what do you think? What did you think, Noah?
It's weird. These women's tag team titles just feel like they're there. They don't feel like they mean anything. I honestly don't think you need them. It was a waste when they never even put them through NXT or NXT UK when it's supposed to be found on all the brands. And honestly, if Fire and Desire don't win this, who else is there for Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross to beat? They already beat the Icons. They already beat the Kabuki Warriors, which, again, is a sad shame what happened to both of those amazing women. But, and I just puked in my mouth saying that name. But they're also doing the whole don't be a bully, be a star thing, calling Nikki Cross ugly. And in my opinion, Nikki Cross is more attractive than Mandy Rose. Go ahead, fight me on that. I dare you. But the bottom line is this. I feel like all this is setting up for is a title change. I see this title changing. The match was just filler. And also, I feel like Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross are due for a breakup and a one-on-one match. It was okay. It's go home. It is what it is.
Chris?
I don't care about it. Don't care. It's bad.
I mean, clearly I cared about it. I forgot to talk about it, so...
I mean, I just said that. I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot this even happened. So there you go.
Yeah. All right, then we had Ember Moon versus Bayley with Charlotte Flair on commentary. This is when you really notice that Charlotte Flair's definitely in babyface mode because she was definitely talking like a face. She wasn't as braggy and stuff. What kind of sucks because I think Charlotte Flair's better as a heel, but
I agree.
But you gotta have.
She's not a terrible babyface though.
Yeah, but I think she's better as a heel though.
She's a better heel, but she's not like a bad babyface either.
Oh no, not at all.
Flair. You can't put Flair and face together.
Except when her father was, having his retirement run. That was great stuff.
Well, that's different. Retirement's a whole different thing. Charlotte Flair is not retiring anytime soon.
No. So, this is more of an example. I really didn't care about this match at all. And because, you knew Bayley was winning, which is exactly what happened. She hits the belly to belly. I never really cared for that move. I think it's one of the worst finishes ever.
Agree.
But, afterwards, Charlotte Flair and Bayley have a face-off, and, it's just typical go-home stuff, typical feuds. And, yeah, it just proves my point even more that, if Bayley's heel run doesn't, pick up soon, I could see the WWE just flip-flopping her back to her face, because it's not I'm not enjoying it, thus far. It's nothing really, bad, but, it just feels random. But, what about you, Chris?
No, it's not their match. Okay, I'm fine with it.
Yep. What about you, Noah?
I guess it is really solidifying the idea of Bailey being heel and Charlotte turning face. But again, Ember Moon, she's the fall woman now. And again, Ember Moon has so much more potential. I felt this kind of hurt her, in my opinion. It was there. Again, it's go home. When you figure out go home, it really comes down to execution. Chris basically had the same sentiment as me.
He was there. That's this whole show. Except the Shane McMahon stuff, which is why, thinking about it now, maybe the Shane McMahon stuff's the reason we hate this show so much. Because when you kind of take that out of there, now that we've kind of talked about it, we're not as fun.
All I know is as soon as I heard Shane was challenging Chad Gable, the glasses were off the rest of the night. I muted my television. I drank Mountain Dew. I watched Japan Pro Wrestling on my TV, and I watched this at 30% on my 17.3-inch laptop screen. And I rated the WWE main roster product on Twitter.
Then we have, well, not the main event, but the last segment we're going to talk about on SmackDown. Kofi Kingston reflecting on his Madison Square Garden moment that he had 10 years prior to this. Basically he just kind of reflects about the moment where he laid out Randy Orton with the boom drop, and then Randy Orton shows up, and I actually like what he said here. He pretty much talked about he had that one good moment, and then he had like a good year this year while he was like winning championships, winning Royal Rumble matches, winning Money in the Bank matches, and being a big star pretty much. And all you is not ready, and he says something that pisses him off. I don't remember off the top of my head because it happened Tuesday. So, and then Kofi Kingston gets pissed off, but it was all a trap. Randy Orton lured Kofi Kingston in there so that way he could attack him with the steel chair. They get into a brawl, and it looks like Randy Orton's gonna stand tall. He slams Kofi through the table, which I don't think was supposed to break. I think it was a botch, but whatever. And then Kofi Kingston lays out Randy Orton. He hits the boom drop through the table, and I would have loved this, but Noah, what's that word you like to say? That catchphrase you like to say when they repeat a segment?
Oh yeah, because it's 10 years ago. Control C, Control V. Oh, and this was stupid.
Yeah, it was basically the same thing, because it was just recreating that. Now, I'll be okay with this more if it leads to Randy Orton win the championship this Sunday. Kofi can have his moment here. He can get one over Randy Orton, and that way he can win the champion. Randy Orton can win the championship Sunday. If that's not what happens, then I don't really understand why Kofi Kingston got his revenge here, because that kind of doesn't make any sense. But I will, like I said, it's just more of a repeat, and really didn't care for this. I've talked about this with people. Kofi should have lost the title right when he won it, because we talked about this before. The thrill of the chase is better than the title reign itself. A big example of that is Sami Zayn's NXT title reign. When he won it, he lost it 2 months later, and the chase continued. And that's what should have happened with Kofi. He should have lost the title at least quickly, because it kind of hurt him in a sense. But that's it's nothing he did wrong. It's just there. But Noah, what do you think of this segment?
Stupid! It's literally, like I said, a repeat of 2009, and I hope this doesn't end the same way like Survivor Series did in 2009. If Kofi Kingston is still champion, they might as well make a new W championship out of fire retardant pancakes and make the W out of hardened syrup. I pray to God that doesn't happen. I hope Orton punches Kofi in the head. I don't hate Kofi. I'm sick and tired of the New Day. And another interesting tidbit, the one thing they didn't do a go-home for was the SmackDown Live Tag Team titles. No revival, no New Day in sight. I hope her title changes, if nothing else, Orton needs to win the W Championship for me to care about it again. This segment was stupid.
There you go. And I love how you use Randy Orton's catchphrase in there. That was nice.
That's what this whole storyline surrounded by one word. Stupid. Where's the stupid shirt? Randy Orton might as well be wearing something like that, or place it over Kofi Kingston's face when he arcades on him next time.
What did you think of this, Chris?
I liked it. It was awesome. Yeah, it was a good segment.
There you go. Now we're on to the letter grade. Like I said, since we have that new system where you'll give the letter grade and then you'll give like an overall percentage within that letter grade.
AEW. Go ahead.
So, yeah, I didn't really enjoy this show. I would give it a D-. It is going to go up 2 letter grades because, I'm an Undertaker fanboy. Because I got to see The Undertaker, I was happy about it. So I'm going to give it a D+, but I'm going to give it a 66 out of 100. because I think that's like the lowest D+ you can get. So, because I think 65 would just be a regular D, and 66 is a D+. So it's 66 out of 100.
I give it a C-.
And then what does it get?
70.
70 out of 100. So, Noah, you get the deciding grade.
All right, let me just think about this. So, opening segment, Undertaker kind of builds the idea. We didn't get Fiend, we got Sammy. We have women's tag title build, we have WWE title build, and then you have the rest. All right, fine. I'll be a tiny bit generous because, one, I do respect The Undertaker. Two, I hope Orton kicks Kofi's ass. I'll give it a D. And I guess a D is technically somewhere in the 60s, so not really D+, so not 69, Katie. A solid D. I'll give it a 66.
All right. There you go. So SmackDown failed, technically. I think that's a failing. I mean, I know they got pass grades, but that's technically a fail grade.
You don't get an F, I guess you succeed. And trust me, there's almost every fiber of my being that wanted to do that, but I'm trying to not be biased.
Yeah. All right. So now we have 205 Live, which Noah will take us through.
So 205 Live kicked us off, building the idea of how we got our triple threat match for the Cruiserweight Championship this Sunday between Humberto Carrillo, Lince Dorado, and Drew Gulak. It talked about how 2 weeks ago, Oney Lorcan and Humberto Carrillo faced each other one-on-one for number one contendership. And Humberto Carrillo won, but he was then confronted backstage by Lince Dorado saying, if I had that same opportunity, I would have won that match. Then the following week, we're in Drake Maverick's office. The match is set between the two one-on-one. They add the stakes, and Lince Dorado beats Humberto Carrillo. He gets added to the match. He gets his first Cruiserweight Championship opportunity since being on 205 Live brand. And he did. He won with a roll-up. But then we get Tony Nese and Drew Gulak post-match attacks. The two are back together, taking out both men. And we get the setup for the night's main event of Tony Nese and Drew Gulak versus Lince Dorado and Humberto Carrillo. Going to the show, we get our opening match. It's the Brian Kendrick and Akira Tozawa versus Jack Gallagher, and a partner of his choosing. Jack Gallagher's been injured, but he says he's back, apologize for it, but thank you for the time, because now I got my partner, you might regret it. And it turns out to be the time splitter himself, Kushida, former IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion and current NXT superstar. It really surprised me here, and I thought this was a really fun tag opener. It highlighted Kushida very strongly, and it also teases the idea of Akira Tozawa kind of turning heelish to Lee Brian Kendrick's tactics, but it also shows the tag team dynamics that Lee Brian Kendrick and Akira Tozawa have developed, and the potential of Kushida and Akira Tozawa facing one-on-one in 205 Live or NXT. I thought this was a great hype video package for the Cruiserweight title match and our main event. I thought this was also a fun opener, and I'm so glad I got to see Kushida in Madison Square Garden. So, Owen, tell me for your thoughts on the opening, the setup of the night, and the opening match.
Opening video package. 205 Live always knocks these out of the park, so I really like this. I really liked, the opening matchup. I thought it was really good. I definitely didn't expect to see Kushida debut. That was a surprise because he just debuted in NXT not that long ago. And I don't know if this is a permanent thing or what, but I'm happy with it because I think Kushida can do... I mean, it's not like he'll do bad in NXT, but I think, if 205 Live, stays within it, its own brand for now, I think he'll do really well in 205 Live because he's a really good cruiserweight wrestler, and he has history with the champion, which we'll get into if he stays champion. So I like that. The match I thought was very good. I liked how it showcased Kushida, and I really like seeing like Kendrick and Tozawa work as heels because we really haven't seen like Tozawa really work as a heel. He's only been face since the division started. One thing I want to mention, because I know we'll forget to talk about it, is the commentary team was different. It was Vic Joseph, Aiden English, and Dio Madden.
Dio Madden, former NXT superstar. Yeah, my apologies, because that kind of made me a little sad. I mean, Nigel and Aiden have such tremendous chemistry. But again, Nigel McGuinness, he is NXT. NXT is no longer network based. It's going to be full brand, live every week. So I respect his decision. And commentary to me fell a little flat.
Yeah, I think because Dino Batty has the voice, but it's obviously we have to give him because it's only his first week, so we can't really be too harsh on him because
Right.
maybe he'll get better over time. But I thought it really shows that Vic kind of not only how bad he is, but it shows that he can't carry a commentary team because I think if Maul had been there, it would have been a completely different story. But Aiden English, I thought was awesome. He really. Because I think he knew he was going to have to carry this, and I thought he really carried it. He was fantastic, I thought.
Aiden English was on point here. Chris, continue on. I'm sorry.
But yeah, I like the match, and I'm interested to see what happens with Kushida in 205 down the line.
All right. Now, Chris, again, you're just an honorable listener. Give me your thoughts based on what you heard.
Surprise, surprise, I watched it this week.
Hey!
I thought it was great. The opening package was phenomenal. 205 Live does a great job at that always. But the match itself, goddamn, I was surprised to see Kushida. Now I didn't watch it live, so I knew what happened. But my God, Kushida and 205, that's a great match. That's a great combination. Match was phenomenal, as per usual. 4 of the best in the company right now on 205 Live. Loved it.
And then what did you think of the commentary throughout the night? Because you know Madden more than we do because he was in NFL and all that stuff. So.
Oh yeah, just
very briefly, they said Houston Texans, not his hometown New England Patriots, but I'll let that slide. He was all right. I had no issues with him.
Yeah. At least you're not biased because, a lot of football fans would have said, he's awesome and stuff like that. So at least because
it was all right.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Aiden English is the star. It seems like he was just, destined to be a commentator because he's just phenomenal.
And we will say this, too. It is a lot to, because he's replacing Nigel. It's a lot to replace. So
that's a big seat to fill.
It is. Yeah. Because Nigel is going to be a strict NXT.
Yeah.
It's going live. It would be tough for him to do 205 Live.
Yeah. I think
that's a lot of pressure on him.
A lot of traveling too.
Oh yeah. Especially going back and forth from the UK too. Also.
About to say he still does NXT UK with Vid Joseph, and that is the only 2-person commentary team as of right now. So there you go. Okay, so overall positive thoughts, and like I said, if you saw Akira Tozawa's trailer, he says, "I want him one-on-one." Because Akira Tozawa didn't eat the fall. Kushida made the Brian Kendrick tap out immediately to his hoverboard lock, the what is it called, Sakuraba lock. And again, Kushida, wow, that guy's fast. Jack Gallagher, I think at one point was evaluating, who am I tagging with? So I don't see this tag team being long-term. If this was a special one-off, I hope it leads to special one-on-one matches. Again, Kushida, you've seen NXT promos. He wants to face anybody and everybody. The man can go.
Also, Jack Gallagher came out in a robe this time because typically, so that was new.
Yeah, that's a new thing. He's done that now for the last few times he's been on 205 Live. And again, Jack Gallagher looks strong here too. And you really see how great Akira and Levi and Kendrick work as a team. So, yeah, great opener. Following this, the Singh brothers, they said that they've gone back through, they matured, they lost their support in their fans, and they don't blame them. But basically, when we come back, expect more, and we will prove why we are the best tag team in 205 Live. Not much more to say here. I'm still a little confused what the Singh brothers exactly are. But there was more I thought that came out of the following segment with Mike Kanellis' interview. So he was interviewed not necessarily about his win, but Tony Nese's current, I guess you could say, relapse in 205 Live, and if Mike Kanellis feels any remorse towards the fact he might have been the leading thing to make this happen. But basically, he says, you know what, Tony Nese is his own man. Life goes on. But here's the thing. He's in the main event, and I'm doing nothing. I don't want to just sit around and do nothing. I'm sick and tired of doing that. I need somebody to be a catalyst for me so I can prove to myself and my wife that I'm somebody. Cue Maria Kanellis, who says, congratulations, you won. But you realize that win means nothing. Okay, you took advantage of Tony Nese, okay? So you're proving nothing to me, okay? You need to realize that these wins, so-called, mean nothing, and they mean nothing for yourself. And until you realize that those don't mean anything, then maybe I don't need to be here. So now it's like, okay, Mike Kanellis, you're the sympathetic baby face. What do you need to do to gain your wife's admiration? Will Maria come back? What's next for Mike Kanellis? I thought this was a very interesting interview and segment. Chris, your thoughts?
I thought it was really weird. I kind of hated it a little bit because wins are supposed to matter. That's how you get title opportunities. You keep winning.
Yeah.
And is she mad that he keeps winning? Does she want him to suck? Like, is that what she wants? She wants her own husband to suck. But, you know, if they're building up towards sympathetic babyface Mike Kanellis, I can get behind it.
Yeah, because Mike Kanellis has yet to have a babyface run in 205 Live. It would be an interesting dynamic. Owen, your thoughts?
As for the Sin Brothers, I actually like it. I kind of interested to see. I think it's funny stuff just because, you know, of how sad they are and, like, him trying to get, you know, like, reflection, I guess. So I think that's pretty funny stuff. I don't know if they're doing a rematch between, you know, them versus Kendrick and Tozawa because they seem to be name dropping them a lot. So that's going to be interesting. I'm going to keep saying it, though. If the Sin Brothers are going to be in 205, they need tag titles because there's really no reason for them to be there if there's no tag titles. So, and as for the Mike and Maria Kanellis promo, I'm interested in it, I guess. I don't hate it because I like Mike Kanellis' delivery, but I can't hate 205 Live for this because it's not their fault. It's the main roster's fault, and they're just trying to, you know, recover that storyline because pretty much the main roster is the reason this storyline's happening. And I'm at least happy 205 Live's, like, not forgotten about it. At least they're trying to do something with it because, you know, obviously main roster has, like, the memory of, like, Dory from Finding Nemo. So,
Oh, jeez, that's an insult to Dory.
and I'm not wrong, though. So,
yeah.
But yeah, so I'm interested in it. But like I said, because I think Kanellis is gonna go face because you know, they need faces because, you know, Tony
Just
needs
makes sense at this point.
Yeah, and he's done everything there is to do as a heel, and I think I can get behind a Mike Kanellis babyface turn. I would like to kind of see, like, him and Drake Maverick have a segment again, him as a face because you know, they've been having like a big feud. So I'm interested in it.
Yeah, and there was no Drake Maverick also on 205 Live tonight, and also 205 Live is always going through changes. I know they've moved the writer to SmackDown Live, it seems, so now it's a different direction, and really there's nobody really overlooking them in Gorilla. It's just the cruiserweights carrying themselves. 205 Live is carried by these guys themselves. They are the cruiserweight division. They are 205 Live, so yeah, I'm hoping for better things. But this match kind of deflated that. So our main event was Carrillo and Dorado versus Nese and Gulak, or so I thought. We get pre-match attack where Nese and Gulak come out from behind and attack the two, but then Arya Daivari gets involved, and I guess he does have some heat against Lince Dorado, but I felt like this was unnecessary. And then you get Grand Metalik out of nowhere, just cause, and we basically get this 2-on-2 turn to 3-on-3. There was some jogging for position at times. Faces control at the beginning, heels then controlled. But then when it came to a lot of the middle of the match, it kind of fell flat because the crowd started doing the wave, and there apparently was a baby moreover in the crowd at times than the actual action in the ring. They tried to get the crowd into it, going off the baby chance. Drew Gulak saying, "There's your baby," pointing at Alberto Carrillo. And when Gulak got the tag in, he even cradled Grand Metalik like a baby, which did get a major pop innovation from the crowd. And then Tony Nese tried to regain that heat again himself, singing Rockabye Baby, locking Metalik in a scissors lock middle of the ring. Again, wrestlers, when they're for extended period of time in cruiserweight matches, I feel like that's an immediate turnoff for the crowd. That's just my opinion. Then following that, Ari Daivari, he tries to listen some heat, yelling at the crowd and bowing, but the crowd wasn't paying attention. This match really didn't pick up until we got a hot tag from Humberto Carrillo, and he was in the ring one-on-one with Gulak, and everybody's going all over the place. We got all three heels and faces on turnbuckles. The heels fall. The faces, they go for simultaneous moonsaults. They all eat feet, and then they somehow like do a James Bond type triangle in the ring, and literally super kick the three heels, which got the crowd interested in this because it was like a fun moment. But then the ending of the match came when we got, Humberto Carrillo goes over the top rope, turning missile drop kick, DHE splash elbow, Michinoku driver. Gulak maintaining some momentum, didn't get the win here. There was a spin-out powerbomb on Lince Dorado because he got attacked from Carrillo. It was him and Gulak. Carrillo went over the top rope, took out knees. Grand Metalik got hops like Montez Ford, apparently. He reached over the top and did a Hurricanrana to Ari Daivari, taking him out. And Lince Dorado gets the win on Gulak with a shooting star press. I feel like this match was flat for most of its middle, had a nice little start in the beginning, but really picked up towards the end. And it gave me this idea of the go home to cruiserweight title. Lince Dorado's got the most momentum, proving a point about his lucha libre style, proving a point he deserves his opportunity. A little bit of one-upsmanship against brother Carrillo. And Gulak's like, you two can't beat me. I am the law, as he was just, holding the towel as hard as you possibly could with the most grimace faces possible. I thought this was a pretty good go-home closer, but not a great match. And the biggest commentary thing I could take away is when Dio mentioned Lince Dorado as Raphael from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because he's the hothead of the Lucha House Party and of this team. I was hoping for more from this. I kind of wish it was just 2-on-2, but I'm still excited for the Cruiserweight title match overall. Chris, your thoughts?
I thought this match was good. I'm with you, Noah. I didn't really see the need for Ari Daivari to be in this match at all, period. It just kind of didn't really make any sense. They just wanted to make it a six-man tag anyway, so why not just make it a six-man tag from the beginning?
It'd be kind of like merging two stories in one, which I feel like they should have held off till after Clash of Champions, but continue.
Yeah. It was a good match. Yeah.
All right. Owen, your thoughts?
Yeah, I like the match too. I thought it kind of fell flat because of the crowd and stuff, though. And one gripe I do kind of have is I don't think Gulak should have taken the fall in the match because I think, that kind of hurts his mystique where, no one's been able to beat him because that's kind of been his gimmick since he's, reformed as this dastardly, heel. I think it should have been Ari Daivari since, he's got the least to lose because, Nese, you can't have him take the fall because he just turned heel. And you could have Grand Metalik take the fall, but then that would make his match with Rey Mysterio and Raw kind of pointless. So I don't really think you want to do that. I think, Ari Daivari should have taken the fall. But, the match kind of fell flat, but I thought it got going towards the end. And, Lince Dorado getting the win made sense because, he's kind of, got the least to win in the triple threat. I think a lot of people are looking at him as a fall guy, so I like that they built him up a little bit. I thought, but I've seen, this was probably, one of the worst matches in 205. I mean, it was good, but we've seen better matches, main event matches. Not the show, Chris, so don't click off the video. In 205.
Yeah, and like I said, I feel like they should have saved Ari Daivari and Grand Metalik as a one-on-one after Clash of Champions, thus furthering the Lince Dorado storyline based on the events that could happen this Sunday. And I'm just going to say it right now, Drew Gulak retains, and I believe that Lince Dorado is going to eat the fall. Yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and give our letter grades for this week's episode on a percentage scale also of 0 to 100. It wasn't my typical 205 lives I'd like to expect for go-homes. I felt this under-delivered. I wish the main event was more. I wish it was actually 2-on-2 and Grand Metalik and Ari Daivari played in the highest capacity if this had to come to these two being involved, just at ringside. But I get where they're going. They're developing a storyline faster than you would think. I was waiting for this storyline to continue as an epilogue after the Cruiserweight title match. Dio Madden, he's not Nigel McGuinness, but I'll give him a chance. He was okay. And I enjoy the fact Kushida debuted, and I'm looking forward to what they can do with what now looks like they got 4 tag teams on 205 Live. This could have been better. It wasn't the worst. It was damn sure better than SmackDown Live, and I always enjoy my cruiserweights. Hashtag 205 matters. So I would give it a C plus, maybe on a great scale of like C plus. What is that? 80 is B range, so a C plus. Yeah, a C plus, 78%. Owen, what about you?
Yeah, I agree with you. C plus. And I'll go 78% as well.
All right, Chris, what about you?
Same. C plus, 78%. It wasn't the best 205 Live. They could have done better, but I don't know. It just fell flat in some areas.
Yeah. I think too. I hope it's not like them kind of throwing in the towel because of the recent reports we have about 205 Live. Because
yeah, I'm sure you'll have a rundown talking all about that. But let me just say this: until I see the words "cancel" is official, I will continue 205 Live Matters as I do. And if the cruiserweights get merged in NXT, I can only see that as a positive because according to Triple H, they will be part of the NXT product in front of a dedicated crowd that understands this wrestling and respects these guys and knows these guys. And also the Cruiserweight title will come to them. And who knows, the Cruiserweight title might get a redesign. So until it's canceled, my stance and my outlook and my overall analysis will remain the same.
Yeah, I'm not going to say too much about it until I actually because we haven't it's not official yet. Even if it gets canceled, I think a lot of people think it's going to happen right when it goes to USA Network. I don't think that's going to be that.
It's a slow burn because if we get this alleged draft and 205 Live becomes part of NXT, they'll be also involved as an asset you can pick in the draft. And I would not surprise me if Drew Gulak is somehow moved to the main roster. And if I get Daniel Bryan versus Drew Gulak from that, then I'll be fine.
Yeah. All right. So one more thing. We got to do our predictions for Clash of Champions in video form. We already did it via Noah's Graph, but why not do it via video form so that way, all you guys know it. So let's get to Clash of Champions. We have 11 matches on the show. We're going to go down the line first. On a scale from 1 to 10, we're going to go through people's excitement level. So let's start with Chris, because maybe Chris's will be higher. What is your excitement level for Clash of Champions?
6.
That's pretty good, actually. That's pretty decent.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I mean, see, I'm not excited for it. The card looks very good. It just, you know what it is? I think we've had a lot of pay-per-views. We've had NXT TakeOver Toronto. We've had SummerSlam. We just recently had NXT UK TakeOver Cardiff. And obviously everyone knows except how I feel about that.
Yep.
And All Out. So we've had a lot of shows. I've also started school. I've had my aunt here, with the twins. So it's I've had a lot of other things going on. But I'm decently excited for it. I just think, it just kind of feels like one of those random, let's just do a pay-per-view this month. So, I want to give it a 4. I can't give it a 5. I'm going to give it a 4. It's just kind of What about you, Noah? What's your excitement level?
It's one of those things where you look at the card and it looks pretty decent, but again, it just feels like it's there. You would think Clash of Champions would be made a bigger deal because it is actually showcased in every championship in WWE. But honestly, the 20% tile is more valuable right now, it seems, than most of these other tiles they're doing matches for, which degrades my interest in this product overall. I'm sorry, I'm with you. I'm going to be a little generous, though, because at one point I was a 3, but I'll go with you. I will go with 4 out of 10.
Yeah. All right. So, also we know, too, as everybody knows, if you want, because obviously by then you should see the bracketology, because that's all included in this video, which I just remembered about that now. So hopefully it's a good thing because I would have forgot to include it in there. We're going to have the first round match in the tournament to crown the first ever Elite Runner-Up Championship. It's going to be the Battle of the Chris's, good brother Christopher Willis versus Chris Dodd. So I really don't want to have Chris Dodd do a promo on him because Christopher Willis won't really be able to respond because, he's not here. So, we'll just, Chris Dodd, how do you just feel about the match itself?
Good.
Yeah.
Excited to do predictions. Yeah.
I got him here. I gotta go watch Good Brother the holiday Chris Mason's video. He gave Good Brother Christopher Willis his predictions. So
Yeah.
yeah. And then I'll send you the graphic for that. Oh, and I also got to finish the aftermatch league too with both Good Brother Chris and the Holiday, yours, and the Cleaver Con Andrew. Because as you know, we all take part in multiple leagues. And Owen and Chris, I invite you to take part in the NotiQ Galaxy Predictions League because I started a predictions league for the NotiQ Galaxy and created a form that y'all can fill out and I can track everybody at once.
Oh wow, that's intense. And no, I'll say this too. For the graphic you're gonna make for us this time, you can just maybe send it to me or something, and I can just change it around because it's all the same. Gonna be basically the same graphic except different shows. It's a tournament style. So
yeah, I'll send you the graphic, but let me go ahead and I'll send you the link to that form in the Wrestling Rundown chat. So feel free to take part because I'm looking for the first champion of the NotiQ Galaxy.
And I hope it's me. So actually, I was gonna change my picks here, not necessarily because I thought I had nothing to lose. But I'll keep them the same. So let's start with this. We're gonna start with the United States Championship match because there's no kickoff yet. Don't you dare put the match on the kickoff that you think we will.
205 Live matters. It does not belong on the fucking kickoff show.
How does it feel to see that again, Chris?
To them, 205 Live doesn't matter.
You haven't seen a Noah Way in a while, Chris. Did it feel good to see that again?
That's fucking amazing.
All right, but starting with it though, we're gonna start with the United States Championship match. United States Champion AJ Styles versus Cedric Alexander. Chris will go first for all the picks since his picks in our league are the only ones that matter right now. So Chris, who do you have for this match and why?
I had AJ winning. Because it's too soon for Seth Rollins to win. Not Seth Rollins. Cedric Alexander.
Seth Rollins.
Winning all the fucking titles, apparently.
Yeah, why not? Belt collector, Austin Aries. Good lord.
But yeah. I'm going to say AJ Styles as well. As much as I want to see Cedric Alexander win, AJ Styles has been kind of booked fairly crappy lately. The OC's been getting laid out left and right. He just took the stunners. I think you need to... if Cedric Alexander is going to win the U.S. title, AJ Styles should be a little bit more not established, but look a little more credible because lately AJ Styles hasn't looked that credible lately. So I think AJ Styles should win.
There we go. So y'all got the form. So good luck to you guys in the NotiQ Galaxy. Because as far as I'm concerned, you're all part of it too. But you can fill that out later. You got till kickoff till I delete it. So, okay, you're AJ Styles. Owen, you're AJ Styles?
Yep.
I'm AJ Styles as well. Look. Cedric Alexander has had tremendous momentum put towards him now on the Monday Night Raw Prague. I'm happy to see that. But if you want the OC to remain relevant, you need their lead guy to have a championship. The United States title has been hot potato too much in the last months, it seems, in the beginning of the year, across Rey Mysterio, Ricochet, and Samoa Joe, and whoever the hell else held it before then. I don't even remember. AJ Styles has to retain here. AJ for the win.
All right. By the way, if that call was James Hebert trying to call, because I think he doesn't know we're doing the show right now. So there you go. Because I told him.
Continue.
Then we have the match that should be on the kickoff. Let's be real, it should be the Women's Tag Team Championship match.
Yes.
Women's Tag Team Champions Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross versus Fire and Desire. Chris, who do you have for this match?
Alexa and Nikki. Because it's just, I don't know. They just won the titles.
Yeah.
I just don't see that change happening.
Noah, who do you have?
Again, you know what's interesting? This actually was on the kickoff at SummerSlam. Maybe this is the new kickoff title, and honestly, it should be. But unfortunately, I feel like Cross and Bliss are not a legitimate team. Fire and Desire are. Tag titles should be a legitimate team. And it's for that leading reason, not only reason, I picked Fire and Desire to win.
I picked Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross.
Dadgum, you two.
So yeah, I mean, it's just kind of like one of those picks where you just predict them and move on because I really
one of those matches that could go either way, but I still don't care.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Then we have the no disqualification match: Roman Reigns versus Eric Rowan. Because he won his. Eric Rowan got his name back. We should all celebrate that, by the way, because that doesn't happen a lot. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. His first and last name back with the worst music ever. I miss Steve Foss, man.
Chris, who do you pick for this no disqualification match, and why?
I'm probably gonna get it wrong, but I'm gonna pick Roman.
Roman?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like he's been on the receiving end of the beatdowns and this whole storyline of them trying to murder him. So I mean, I think he's gonna get the win.
I'm picking Roman Reigns because like if Eric Rowan's beating Roman Reigns, then yeah, you need to fire all your creative team right now, and that's just stupid. We should not live in a world where Eric Rowan's getting a pinfall victory over Roman Reigns. So Roman Reigns. I don't even care if it's interference. Roman Reigns wins. Lol.
What if it's interference by Dan Bryan?
Should still be Roman Reigns winning.
And he's under a mask and he calls himself Dan Bry.
It could happen. I mean, like I said, they could try and recreate the higher power storyline. Oh, who knows? Maybe it's Luke Harper comes out in a hoodie, bashes Roman Reigns in the turnbuckle. But again, it's no DQ. You almost feel like the stipulation is in favor of Eric Rowan. However, the last angle makes the no DQ stipulation make sense. But guys, it's Roman Reigns. He's the cover star of W2K20 and Vince McMahon's top guy in the company, no matter how you look at it. There's no doubt Vince wants Roman to have both top titles if he could. Roman Reigns is winning this. Simple as that.
Then we have the SmackDown Women's Championship match. SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley versus Charlotte Flair. Chris, who do you have for this match?
I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm going with Charlotte. I don't know. I don't know why I'm picking Charlotte. I just am.
Okay.
I feel like I could get burned. I feel like they're gonna put the both the Raw and SmackDown women's titles on the Boston Net Connection, but again, I could be wrong.
The heels rule the shows.
I'm gonna go with Bayley for several reasons. She just turned heel, so I think. She should, retain the title to legitimize that. It's in Charlotte Flair's hometown, and you know how that works with the main roster booking. They don't win. And that's all I need to say. I shouldn't have to say anything else. Because, that logic alone should, I don't have nothing to sell now. So,
yeah.
Bayley wins. I should have just said that, because that's all I needed to say.
You should have said Bayley. Simple as that for all the reasons you listed. Hometown, turning heel, pushing her as a champion, Charlotte going face, Sasha likely going to interfere. There's no way Bayley is losing this title. I'd be shocked if she did. Bayley for the win.
Then we have, since we're sticking with the Raw Women's Championship match. Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks. Chris, who do you have?
Yeah, I'm going to go Becky.
Okay.
Why? Again, I think there's going to be interference in both matches. Either it's a split, either Becky and Charlotte win, or it's Sasha and Bayley. I don't think it's going to be a flip of the title. I don't think it's going to be a split.
You don't think both titles
the faces win and the heels win.
Yeah, you don't think both titles are going to change hands. They're either going to both retain or one's going to change. And it's that same mentality that I was going in my predictions with, too. But you see the shirt in the background, right? And Becky is a cover star. Guys, it's marketing. You're pushing her to the moon. It's not like she's been drafted to SmackDown Live yet. Becky's going to retain.
I picked Sasha Banks.
What?
Yeah, I think Sasha Banks is going to win the title. She just returned. And, they want to keep her happy because, they don't want to leave in. So I think Sasha Banks...
Not now. She signed a contract, but continue.
That would be hilarious if she signed her contract and she just lost and then loses and loses and loses just every match ever.
Gallows and Anderson.
Yeah, right? Think about it, Chris. They signed 5-year contracts, won the Raw Tag Team Championships, and lost them 2 weeks later. That's hilarious.
I guess the money was right.
You know what?
Money was right.
Just to be fun, I'm changing my pick then. I don't think you can do this, but, It's whatever. Just because of that comedy alone, I want Becky Lynch wins the match just because Sasha Banks already signed a new contract and she can't go anywhere. So,
Dang! Becky
know,
Lynch
Bailey?
all the way.
You know,
Always
Becky?
going bold.
Bailey?
All right.
I have nothing to. I mean, I really have nothing to lose. So what? Why not? Right?
I mean, you're in the aftermatch league though, but I already typed it in. No changing. Moving
Yeah. So then we have the Intercontinental Championship match. Intercontinental Champion Shinsuke Nakamura versus The Miz. And Chris, who are you picking for this match?
The Miz.
Okay.
Don't
You
know
want to
why
say?
I just am.
Okay. You never would have like 3 years ago. Like The Miz could have like saved you from a fire, and you would have picked him to lose.
I wouldn't.
I'm gonna say Shinsuke Nakamura just because of this renewed push, and maybe because Sami Zayn got the rub from being laid out by the Undertaker. He's gonna get so well loved and so well received. Shinsuke Nakamura wins. So there you go.
So you're going with Nakamura retains.
Yep.
And I agree. They just put Sammy and Nakamura together. Sammy's going to be the annoying little gnat mouthpiece that causes Miz the match. I don't see face Miz becoming Intercontinental Champion. Sorry, Chris. I am also going with Nakamura for the win. I just hope this doesn't end with what has been a staple of heel Nakamura, the dreaded low blow. Please, no.
No.
But Nakamura retains.
You know what's gonna be funny because Miz can kind of takes bumps sometimes awkwardly. I want to see how he's gonna take that reverse exploding suplex bomb because he's probably gonna botch that.
I don't know if I want to see that. But then again, Miz is one of those that has yet to be injured, to his credit. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, which is crazy because it's crazy.
He's been around for a long time.
We have the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match. SmackDown Tag Team Champions Big E and Xavier Woods versus the Revival. Chris, who do you have for this match and why?
Revival.
Oh wow.
They're on Raw. Why?
I just think that, and also too, you can kind of put this into. I'm picking Randy Orton. I think they're going to put the WWE Championship and the SmackDown Tag Team Championships together in one stable.
Okay.
Legacy 2.0.
Pretty much how it is, I think.
Now, as much as I want to see, the Revival win the titles, and I could go bold and predict it, but I already went bold, so I got to, get back to earth a little bit. I'm gonna pick Big E and Xavier Woods to retain the championships because, the Revival have basically taken them out, and you know how the main roster feels about the Revival, so nothing's changing for them. So there you go. What about you, Noah?
You know how much I am so damn sick and tired of the New Day, but it's a Vince McMahon creation. He's gonna keep pushing to the moon, and they are these guys to open SmackDown Live on Fox. I guarantee you. I hope one title is missing, which is why my two predictions are unfortunately half and half: the New Day and Randy Orton.
We have video evidence otherwise that suggests you're sick of the New Day, by the way.
Yeah, so we're not sick enough. By the way, who's winning the WWE Championship, Owen? You didn't
I guess it's on that. I'm going to say, just because I want it to happen, I want to say Randy Orton. I mean, I already went bold, but I guess why not go bold again? So, plus if I lose, I'm not. It's not. It's not like I'm losing on a.
You're losing in a different world.
Yeah.
I don't even remember who the Aftermatch League champion is right now.
I think it's not me. I know that because I would have been.
Maybe Chris Mace can tell me. I gotta record NJPW predictions with him before the night's out too. But anyway, continue.
Then we have the Cruiserweight Championship match. It's a triple threat match for the Cruiserweight Championship. Drew Gulak defending against Humberto Carrillo, or Carrillo as a lot of people like to announce it as. Versus Lince Dorado. Chris, who do you think will win the match and who takes the fall?
I'm going with the champion, Drew Gulak, and I think Lince Dorado eats the fall. Either way, I think Lince Dorado eats the fall because he's just a third man thrown into this match.
Yeah. I'm gonna pick. Actually, no. I have Noah. You haven't started in a while. Why don't you pick?
Well, I mean, I am hashtag 205 Live Matters. I'm not going against the law, guys. Drew Gulak's going to retain here. There's nobody right now I feel like can take that title from him. If someone's going to take that title from him, I think it's going to be Kushida. It's for that reason I picked Drew Gulak to win. And just like I said, in storytelling from that match, Lince Dorado is going to be the guy to eat the fall. We're going to continue that storyline of Arya Daivari trying to prove a point where, one, I'm better than you. 2, I was right. 3, you don't need Lucha House Party. Drew Gulak retains.
Same. I basically have the same prediction as everybody. So
it's gonna. I mean, either way, Lince Dorado I think is gonna take the pin here. No matter what.
So
absolutely.
So that Lince Dorado thing could help us or hurt us because I remember at Extreme Rules when the New Day won, all I needed was for Heavy Machinery to take the fall, and it was Daniel Bryan and Rowan that took the fall. So, they, because I would have won the prediction.
I remember that.
That's strictly on that.
All right, but anyhow, then we have like the two main matches. It's the first time ever that the tag team champions are defending their titles and having a world title match later on in the night. I feel like this has happened before. I think they're lying to us because you know how WWE lies about making history. So I think they're lying.
And so much more, but continue.
But it's the Raw Tag Team Championship match. Raw Tag Team Champion Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman versus Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler. Chris, who do you have and why?
I'm gonna double up here. I got Seth twice and Braun.
Okay.
Seth and then Seth again, Seth and Braun again.
So basically, you're saying Seth wins both of his matches tonight.
Yep.
I just want to make sure I simple it so that way Noah,
Yeah.
That's why I was making sure. Yeah.
All right. So
Go ahead, Owen.
I got the same. I know. Mainly because I was conflicted about what to do with the tag title match because I feel like Roode and Ziggler are gonna win, but I don't want to pick a team that has Dolph Ziggler on it, so I'm picking Seth. I'm picking Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman, and then Seth Rollins to win the main event, and then at the end of the night, the Fiend Bray Wyatt is gonna come out and lay out Seth Rollins with the Mandible Claw, and maybe he'll do it at 11:19 p.m. because maybe that's what 11:19 means. Maybe he's gonna.
Please no, that's way too damn long.
Maybe he's gonna come out at 11:19 p.m. on the dot and lay out Seth Rollins with the Mandible Claw. So that's what I'm thinking. But Noah, who do you have for like these two matches right here?
Dolph Ziggler is no stranger to tag team gold. Neither is Bobby Roode. Yes, I'm sticking to Bobby. I have the Glorious Heels winning the titles. I feel like they're trying to retcon 2007 with WrestleMania 23, where Shawn and Cena had the tag titles and then faced each other at the main event of WrestleMania, only to lose the tag titles the following night. But I don't want that to happen again. And that's why I'm going against conventional history here and saying Seth and Braun drop via maybe hitting each other or turning on one another because we've seen how many miscommunications they have. I see Dolph and Roode win the tag titles. And I don't see Braun ever getting the Universal title. I'm going with Seth retains. Tag titles change, but Seth retains the UC. And I do believe they're going to set up a triple threat between Braun, Seth, and The Fiend for Hell in the Cell come the end of the night.
And then we have one more thing to predict, and that's who is going to end the night as 24/7 champion. Because even though there's no match announced, I'm imagining they're just going to have like a bunch of skits throughout the night with the 24/7 title. So, Chris, who ends the night as 24/7 champion? Who will be the last champion at Clash of Champions?
I'm going to go with my boy, the Truth. R-Truth.
I do got a question. So let's just say the show goes off the air, but Truth loses the title after the show goes. Is it right after the show? Like, does he have to end like the night, like by midnight? Does he have to be champion?
As soon as that freaking WWE logo, as soon as that logo goes on the screen and we fade to black, who's ever the champ, that's it.
Yeah.
All right. So Noah, who do you think would be end the night as 24/7 champion?
You think about who's held this title, okay? We've had a member of the B team, we've had Jinder Mahal, we've had EC3, we've had Drake Maverick, and then we have the guy who I believe is going to retire with it, R-Truth, and that's why I'm picking R-Truth.
You can't bet against Truth.
You
There's
can't,
no need for him.
but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna go bold, and I got nothing to lose. So I'm gonna say, and this is gonna shock everyone. I'm gonna say Curtis Axel ends the night as champion.
Curtis Axel.
Yeah.
Man.
What?
So some of my picks were not good, but at least they weren't troll picks like WrestleMania 35.
Curtis Axel. Okay.
All right, why not? I mean, stranger things have happened. At least you didn't say Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Oh, God. And yes, people, I have predictions written down by people who said Ric Flair's going to end the night as 24/7 champion.
So at least you know,
God.
there you go. So yeah, that's the end of the Wrestling Rundown. A long episode because by the time you've seen this, you've seen me announce the matches for the Elite Runner-Up Championship. You've seen the bracketology for it, which I hope you guys have laughed your ass off because me and James were pretty creative with that.
Y'all are ridiculous. That's what y'all are.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. No, if you watch Video 2000, you're gonna really see how ridiculous we are. So
I'm still going through that. Ooh.
just get to the. If you're gonna just skip all the rundown stuff, because that's you're gonna really see the ridiculousness. You're gonna see. I don't want to say anything because then you won't watch it. But you haven't met Steve Coakley yet, so you're gonna see how ridiculous he is. But anyhow, we got things to plug. We got things to promote. We're gonna start with Chris Dodd because he's got the least amount of stuff to plug.
Socials in the description. Don't even. I'm not gonna say them. Just look for them. They're there in that box, in that description box.
Yeah.
You can catch me in the Wrestling Rundown. Whenever the fuck we do a show next
Monday.
week probably Monday. And Retro Wrestling Review Series coming out Monday too. Right?
Well, me and James are doing one.
Friday of next week.
Yeah.
Is my pick, right?
Yep, and then it's Noah's pick.
Okay. And that's all you can catch me at.
Yeah.
Not literally,
No.
figuratively. You can't literally catch me figuratively.
All right, Noah, is there anything you want to plug or promote?
A pleasure as always, gentlemen. I'll keep it simple for you. Ladies and gentlemen, you want to know more about me? Know this. I'm just a simple man. And if you haven't figured it out by now, yes, I am a fan of the Undisputed Era, but I'm also a lifelong fan of wrestling. If you want to follow me and talk anything wrestling, WWE and beyond, New Japan Pro Wrestling, AEW, Impact, Ring of Honor, and independent wrestling, support independent wrestling, folks. Look me up on Twitter. NoDQ.com/Noah takes you to my Twitter page, or follow my simple YouTube channel here at YouTube.com/user/Noah Foster210. And yeah, Noah Foster210. You'll find all sorts of recaps, summaries, reviews, predictions, and just audio forums of me talking wrestling with these guys included on my series, #205matters and more. And I'll be doing prediction videos shortly on New Japan Pro Wrestling's next two shows, Destruction in Beipu, Destruction in Kagoshima. Support NoDQ. The reason I'm in YouTube. Buy a shirt, NoDQ.com/shirts. Follow me on our social media platforms. Your opinions matter. So do your predictions. Join the NoDQ Galaxy Predictions League. You have until the time of kickoff to fill it out. That includes you too. And as always, I'd like to close. Support your wrestling outlets, but big and small. Let's keep growing this incredible wrestling community together. Simple as that. See you all next time.
By the way, quick question: how many times have you been a Super Chat champion, Noah? Just
I think 11.
But yeah, check. So obviously, Chris has already promoted this channel, but you can still subscribe to it. Make sure down below you check out Video 2000, and I recommend you watch it in intervals because it's a long video. It's 2 parts because YouTube didn't want to upload it all in one part because it can't be longer than 12 hours apparently. So I think it's a wish and change because that's never been a thing before. And yeah, you can check me out on the Talkinator for all my non-wrestling stuff. Me and my cousin will be, since the Breaking Bad movie's coming out, we'll be doing Breaking Bad season reviews, which I can't believe, Noah, you never got into that show, but,
I'm just wrestling. I'm not sports or entertainment oriented. I'm just wrestling and video games.
I appreciate, though, you gave it a chance. So
I did try.
And then CM Brothers for past Wrestling Rundown episodes, and I don't know if you've liked this, because, since you're video games, I don't know if you've watched this show, but Red versus Blue reviews will be continuing. We'll be reviewing season 5.
Oh yeah, Rooster Teeth, absolutely. Achievement Hunter. Let's play. At one point, I hope to start an indie gaming league. Just play independent games from indie developers with people online. That'd be like a lot of fun. But yeah, I'm well aware of that series, that Halo game series, Xbox exclusive, and of course, Achievement Hunter and Let's Play. One of my favorite weekly watches.
There you go. So yeah, make sure you check out season 5. But if you whenever we upload it, but you can check out all the other seasons. Recommend not watching season 2 because that video sucked. So, there you go. And that's pretty much it, guys. We have nothing left to plug or promote. So we will talk to you guys later.
Have a good night, folks.